everyone. Great to see you here for episode 23. For those of you who don't know, this is the Battle of Fort Raggedy, but we'll get to all that in a bit. Very first, let's start off by saying hello to all the wonderful players you see before you today. Starting off, we have Mr. Michael Powell. Tell them who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hey everybody, I am Michael Powell and I play the fabulous Rufa, and he's a human investigator and their pronouns are he, him, they, and them.
Very, very nice. And next up, we missed your last game. Sam, say hello, who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hey guys, it's Sam. I'm playing Ichipokton Papakui, your friendly barbarian luchador Ita, and our pronouns are she, her.
Very, very nice. Next up, Kylie, tell them who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hi, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really does not matter at this point. Why you guys gotta make fun of me?
Because we love you.
We do love you. I'm just stroking my beard.
I make fun of her. It's fine.
What are the other questions? I play the Elven Ranger Shionabis, and we go by she, her.
Very nice. Last but not least, Sidney, tell them who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Oh, hi. My name is Sidney. I play Ilona, the half-elf cloistered cleric, and my pronouns are she, her.
Yeah. And a quick announcement, obviously you can tell, Ian will not be joining us tonight. He will be coming back at a time we don't know yet. He's got an amazing project underway in his household, and they're going to be working on that. But when they come back, you'll obviously see his amazing face joining all of these people's amazing faces. So without further ado, my name is PJ. I'll be the GM. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing everything else today. So in case you might have missed the last two episodes, because today is kind of the culmination of two episodes of, shall we say, bold choices. So back in episode 21, it was confirmed, quote unquote, that Shionabis was the avatar of Gorm, the Scather of Fars. Wow, the father of Scars, the god of the orcs, who is quiet and does not answer their prayers. And so when Zaka, one of the many leaders of the orc army, tried to attack Dunstan, they ran into Shionabis, who told them, as the daughter of Gorm, no, you don't want to be here. You want to go to Fort Raggedy and kill everyone there. So the orcs were like, well, blood for blood. And so off they went, with a little bit of extra anger in their chest, because Shionabis kind of hinted at maybe possibly Zaka's older brother, Champion Zanakin, might have been killed in action. So they were mad. Then they went back to Methune with little boy Joey and the whole crew, and they met Yelanu, and they told her, well, you know, the Tobias guy, the guy you sent us to find, well, we told him to go to Fort Raggedy, but he made an oath to us. And she's like, well, that's a very big deal, because he worships Minerva, and oaths to Minerva are like holy bindings. So now they realized, well, this guy might die, and off they went to go to Fort Raggedy to fight the orc army heading there, and hopefully seeing Tobias alive. Now, where we last left the episode, they were already getting in their carts and moving down the road at first light. But I will allow a few minutes before we get back into that mobile downtime action to make sure everyone has any moments of role play, shopping, whatever they may need, as long as it's quick and brief, before we move forward to the Battle of Fort Raggedy.
Do we need anything?
I mean, I
Health
think
potions.
I mean, at the very least, provisions and everything was filled up last game by Rufa.
Oh, that's true. You did get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Anything else? Like maybe should we get like more arrows or weapons or anything?
No, I'm chilling on arrows.
Yeah. Plus, I don't like to play with exact number of arrows. That's my personal thing. I like to make sure that my archers have arrows all the time, because it sucks when the ranger runs out of arrows. Moving on, anyone else? A bit of role play, bit of shopping, anything particular you want to do or need to do in Methune before you go off to Fort Raggedy?
We're
Joey.
going to look for. Oh,
Yeah, we still need to
Yeah.
leave Joey somewhere.
so you're finding Isawo, right? Still.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a few attempts to try and find Isuo's potential, I guess you could say, nest here in Methuen. It hasn't been found yet.
Right, because Ian
could
rolled.
We
I'll take a
attempt
gamble at
again.
All right. So I heard two things at once. Shonimus, make a perception check. Michael, what was your question?
I'll say, can we attempt again? And as I roll my dice,
Yeah, make another perception check. This will be basically first thing in the morning before you go off to war. You're making sure Joey's got a babysitter.
26.
24.
24. All right, awesome. Also in the chat, thank you so much, Life Action Roleplay. Life
Hey.
Action Roleplay for gifting the 1 tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. And the 5 emotes shared. All the love. Thank you guys so much. But that being said, with the 26 and the 28, I don't want to lose focus because my ADHD will throw me way off track. You're looking around the city of Methuen, and you do happen to see one particular symbol. Again, everything with the symbol is kind of a series of woven color strands and a very specific but very intricate pattern. And you are able to find one, ironically, kind of in the same square that you first met Sam's character, La Pacifica Dorita, with that giant cage match that she was doing in the middle of the city. So you see this symbol hanging off an awning by a door, and on the outside it says relics and inquiries. Symbol hanging by the door, almost like this beautiful little wind chime. What do you do?
Shionis is going to walk up and knock before entering. Like, knock to see if anyone's in there, and then giving it a shot. Just go inside.
So you knock, open, and it almost feels like your first step into the building. Once you cross that threshold, you know it took a fraction of a second, but it feels like it's taken at least 3 seconds. Like you'd almost count in your head 1, 2, 3, and then you land. And as you land inside, you are back in Isuo's very comfortable, kind of living room area. You can smell this beautiful incense is burning. You also see this wonderful teapot is just steaming and it's very close to whistling, and you can smell the mint and kind of earthy notes in this tea. You see kind of coming out of the back door, Isuo, who just goes, "Oh, how can I? Oh, pleasure to see you here." And his eyes start to glow as he's thinking, "You're in Methuen. Why are you in Methuen?"
Is anyone else with me right now? Or is it just me? Oh.
You and Michael both found this door. The question is, did everyone follow you, or did you just go off on your own, the two of you?
Do you have the child, Sidney?
I think I sure do.
Did you
Okay.
follow?
You know what? Let's just say that I did.
Yeah.
I follow Shionibus with the child, and Michael, you're there too, right?
Yeah.
And Rufa with the child. Ichi, are you coming? Are we all just going?
I'm just following.
Cool. All right, I've got the child.
All right.
Please.
So you're all there, and Isuo looks to you all. He greets you. He sees the child, and he says, "Hey, who is this little guy?"
This is Joey. We met him on our way to Bryax. Unfortunately, he is the last remaining.
The only
person.
survivor.
Yeah.
Isuo kind of looks confused. And then he smiles, this warm smile, walks over and gently pets Joey on the head and does the thing where he kind of like hands go this way, and then he kind of cups his ears and he leans forward and says, "This is a human child."
Yes. As you probably has gathered, that there is a situation.
Yes, Bryax is a dwarven city.
Yes. Yes. As you probably has gathered, that there is a situation. Yes. Bryax is a dwarven city.
Yes, Bryax is a dwarven city. Yes, Bryax is a dwarven city. Yes, Bryax is a dwarven city.
I'm sorry, what?
Brax, and then you see Isuo kind of stop, and they correct themselves, and they say, Brax was a dwarven city.
Oh, that does not sound good. That does not sound good indeed.
And judging by his fingers and his length distribution of his arms, this child is a human child.
I'm gathering that Rufa is standing behind Joey, right?
You guys are all together. Joey
Okay.
is probably in front of you, where Isuo is kind of cupping his
All right.
ears to quiet this conversation.
Rufa is going to just kind of motion.
Isuo looks confused, but he goes. And then he kneels down in front of the kid and starts tussling his hair. This is just little joyous tussle and tickles him. And you can hear Joey kind of giggle and laugh. And he says, hey, listen, these people behind you are going to go somewhere. And I'm going to look after you for a few days. Is that okay? I have sweet treats. And do you like tea? And Joey goes, no, tea tastes like leaves. And he goes, well, there's a reason it does, because it is leaves. That's gross. Maybe one day you'll like tea, but if you don't like it, don't worry. I'll make sure we get you something that you like. And then he gets back up and he starts petting his head and then cups his ears and he goes, yeah, I saw the weird symbol on his head.
So you don't know what it is either.
I'm not sure what it is. I am gifted the knowledge of everything. And I don't like the different ideas this is giving me. But for safety's sake, I have to say I have no idea.
I swear if this kid's a god, I'm going to be
Rufa's
done with all of you.
Rufa's going to kind of nod. One of the reasons that we decided to seek you out. This is quite troubling, especially about the whole Ryax thing.
Yeah, Bryax was one of the few topside dwarven cities on this continent before you got past the coastal coral shelf and made your way to Asmacon, where there's a handful of dwarven cities. But, so you said you found him outside of Bryax?
Yes, covered in wounds and near out of character again. What was that city called that was occupied by the orcs?
Bryax.
Brax was the city.
Yeah, Brax. Oh yeah.
And Dunstan was the one.
Yeah.
The other
Oh,
one.
Dunstan. Yeah. Yes, after we dealt with I guess you could call them super goblins now in Dunstan.
Yes, I'm aware of Manglema's latest iteration to the goblin condition.
Yes, out of everyone we know, we thought perhaps you would be the best choice to perhaps figure this whole mess out.
Everyone give me a perception check.
18.
11.
11. Okay, 18, 11.
17.
17.
25.
Shionibus hears it. So, Isuo smiles at all of you, and you hear him say, you hear them say, I will be very happy to take on Joey for a little while. You all do what you have to do. I'm sure Fort Rageddy is looking forward to having some saviors from the east. Tobias is very tired. His hands are very full and bloody. So do what you can on that front. In the meantime, I will watch after this. And then he smiles. They smile and say, this wonderful child. And then Isuo, under his breath, Shionibus, you hear it. He says, they say, we're going to have to call a meeting about this. And then he just takes Joey by the hand. And he says, what do you like more, ice cream or pastries? And Joey says, both. Okay, I will make sure that we get you some pastries and some ice cream, but you do have to have some meat, okay? Do you like chicken or fish? And Joey says, both. Oh, you're a hungry kid. And he takes Joey away from you.
Shionibus is going to turn to Alona. Like, did you hear that?
What are you talking about?
Nothing, never mind. I think I'm just tired.
All right, guys, we should get going. We have a long trip and lots of things to face.
When we actually leave the house, so Rufa is just gonna turn to the party and go, well, that was a bit disconcerting.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, but I'm sure Iswo is going to figure it out. He is the person who's supposed to know everything. I'm just glad we were able to find him. Oh, Ichi, this was your first time meeting Iswo.
Yes, y'all seem to know him so well, so.
Oh, well, he's a very special man. And I'm sure we'll tell you more about him later.
He does before you
Ichi
leave.
kind of just.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Ichi kind of just like gives us look like everything with you guys has been really interesting. So shrug, and that's all.
Isuo comes back and he says, I'm sorry, they say, oh my gosh, where are my manners? I was so wrapped up in that remarkable young man. This is a friend. And they point to each of them like, oh, this is a friend of yours. Okay, yes. Where are my manners as a host? 1 second. They walk off to the oven. They pull down the oven. They reach their hands in. Takes a few seconds. And they pull out this wonderful kind of sack made with wrapped corn husk leaves. They walk over and they present the corn husk leaves to you, and they say, normally I would be a much better host, but since you all have to get to Fort Rageddy and I have to entertain Joey, let's call this a parting hello gift. And you see in front of you this, by the way, I don't know if I've had a chance to describe Isuo to you yet. You see this wonderful man from Tezuku with long dreadlocks coming back into a bit of a ponytail, bright white and silver from age. You see this long, beautiful coat of many colors, and it's there to splash a lot of life and vibrancy into this very relaxed and smart clothing this man is wearing. Very comfortable, very sleek and elegant. It's just the warmest smile you've ever seen. And you get this feeling there's something behind their eyes that is greater than you expect. And every time you look at them, you can't help but feel like this person is probably one of the best. Like you just want to hang out with them and talk for hours. And they say to you, here, take this. It's a gift. I'm sure your uncle would love to be here to share it with you. I know that they can't be, but no matter where you go, Lucha will follow you, and Nazma Khan is beneath your feet. And I hope this little snack reminds you of home. And as you open it up, you see a bunch of treats that you had, like little like chili candies and like this really delicious sweet cornmeal kind of scooped up and served. You see some bread that's very, very colorful. Basically every treat you've ever gotten, like ilota, like the ilota corn on a cob, and tamales, and everything is this in this wonderful wrap to go package.
This one's my favorite.
And they boop you on the nose and go, I know. Enjoy it. It's a long ride to Fort Rageddy. Give Tobias my regards. He won't know who I am. That's okay.
Awesome. All right. Heading out.
Bye.
He's the best, isn't he? Isn't he the greatest? Okay, out of character real quick though. Can you imagine dating Isowo? He knows everything. He knows literally everything. If you're mad at him, he knows.
That honestly, with
Tell him to call me.
And the best part is they know what they did wrong. It's like, I'm mad at you. Yes. And that was, I was in a weird headspace. I apologize. Let's talk about it.
Like, I have something really exciting to tell you. He's like, I know. And you're like, no.
No. You know they'd be cool enough to be like, tell me. I want to hear you say it to me. I want to watch your excitement.
That's true. Dating them would be great. That's why he's got so many houses in all the different cities. Sorry.
What was that? What was that wonderful piece of poetry that came
No,
about in early
don't say
2000s
it.
by one
Don't-
Christopher
don't say
Ludacris
it.
Bridges? I have a hoe in every area code.
Yep.
That is
Here we
not
go.
canonical. Isra does not have a hoe in any area code. That is not canonical. Anyway,
I'm just gonna say that actually, if anything, that makes me suspicious.
they don't. Oh, come on. Anyway,
No. The whole knowing everything, that spider sense.
He's a champion of a god.
Yeah. They're the champion of I'm blanking on the name, but like a network of spirits that the Orisa use. Anyway, so that being said, we're going to move forward. Does anyone have any downtime actions on the road to Fort Rageddy? Anything you want to do specifically before we get to this battle?
Polish my axe and my hammer.
Okay.
That's about it.
Honestly, this entire episode, I've fully mentally prepared in my head to be mostly battles, so I'm ready. I have my 4 spells. I have
Really
Can we
quick, do
level
we
2?
have a map, or do we know like how like the path to Fort Raggedy? Do we know that? Do we know other path also to Fort Raggedy that kind of like back trails or lesser known pathways?
You're
I will
trying to
say, yeah, I'll say no, but what you are able to do is understand that because Fort Raggedy is surrounded by trees and forests and whatnot, that you can basically park the cart, get out, and then kind of on foot sweep around a specific direction. Fort Raggedy is in and out. That is it. Just one side or the other.
Okay. Then Rufus kind of goes and kind of looks at the group and goes, considering that the Orcus army has a leg up on us, we perhaps might not want to go straight there and perhaps take a kind of a back trail or something, just in case. I don't know about you, but I do not want to go face down an entire army of orcs.
So, do you want to head down the road, hop off of our carts, leave them somewhere, and then try and walk?
Rufa just nods.
Okay, we can do that. Let's get going though, because we're really late to the party.
All right. So, unless anyone else says anything else, Kylie, anything else you want to plot or okay? So, it's a long drive. It's about maybe like a half a day to a day's journey. You do stop at one point once you can hear the cacophonous battle kind of off the distance. Basically you drop out of the fighting zone about 2 clicks and then move your way westward to the fight.
We're gonna secure and safely hide the horses and carriage.
All right. This far back, no check needed. We can assume that it is safely protected and hidden. And Joey is not in the crossfire, which is funny because the very first note I put with 2 stars is, where is Joey? So we answered that question.
Oh God, was that one of the surprises you said you were going to plan this episode?
Look, I made a promise
You
to
know
chat
what?
that Joey's going to be safe.
Really quick,
Joey's going to be safe.
Could Rufa just double check the wagon to just make sure that Joey didn't hide in the wagon?
Joey's not in the wagon.
Okay.
You guys have nothing to fear. Really fast, Joe, if you can hear me, can you play the intro to Fort Rageddy, please?
We have music?
We have
This
some
entrance?
new music. Wow! And once I can hear it, I will start describing the battlefield of Fort Rageddy proper. Make sure Joe heard me. Oh, I think I can hear it. So, you come across a wooden fort made out of the wood of the nearby trees. You see easily 150 orcs screaming, covered in tribal paint and blood. you can see Fort Rageddy standing on shaky legs as what's left of their people are standing in a line, shouting battle cries, swears. Swords are colliding with orc flesh and finding no purchase. Behind 2 whole rows of people, you see Tobias, his sleeves up to his elbows, blood caking his fingernails, going across his forearms, sword in the dirt as blue fire emits from his hands, and he's putting his hands into the open chest wounds of soldiers. He's screaming aloud, "I need 2 people to go from that east flank and get to the front. I am surrounded. If you want these people to live, you will follow my bloody orders." Tobias then stands up, pulls his sword out of the dirt, and takes the head off of Norik before he puts it back in the dirt, and he goes, "I am Triage, not your bloody commander!" Suddenly, people are screaming as the soldiers of Fort Rageddy are being slaughtered, and orcs are screaming with their own tears rolling down their face, blood for blood, and they are screaming the name of Xanakin to the heavens. This is war. For the members of Fort Rageddy, they are war ready. Orcs are born war ready. And now we are seeing what happens when absolute chaos meets absolute order, and it is hell. As blood spills across the sand and dirt of Fort Rageddy, as steel rings and cries against the flesh of orcs, suddenly there's a brief respite, a quiet, and then Fort Rageddy has a voice of hope. "There! To the east! Reinforcements!" And Tobias, whose hand is deep within a body, pulls it out, wet blood fresh from his hands as a body stands up alive. "Grab your weapon, soldier. Go back to the front." "About bloody time you made it. I've been here for 2 days with my hands in their guts." Tobias pulls out a sword and raises his shield, and he clangs it with a loud bravado. Cling, cling! "Welcome to the war. That bloody time you showed up."
Oh, so we're the one being referred to as the reinforcements.
To the east.
Okay.
Well, keep in mind, we do have Iolenu with us, with whatever she could scrounge of an army, which is not, I'm assuming, not much. We're as good
and
as
also Hera and
reinforcements
Antigone.
as they're gonna get. Oh yeah, and Hera and Antigone.
And Morel. Really quick, PJ, I was wondering if I can make a perception roll for I wanted to see if Rufa could tell if Fort Rageddy is winning or not, and also like kind of the lay of the land of what kind of battle tactics that the orcs are using. Like, are they just going chaotic, full bodies, waves of bodies or something?
Here's what we're going to do. Tobias runs up to you, as he's already been talking to you this entire time. And he looks at you, and you can just see blood all over his face, blood all over his armor, blood up to his elbows as he grips his sword and holds his shield. And he looks to you as the soldier he just brought back from death grabs a hold of whatever they can and run to the fray one more time. And Tobias looks at you and he says, "All right, here's the sit rep. We've been engaged with this enemy for over 2 bloody days. They just go in waves. When one gets too tired, they retreat to the back ranks and they take a nap, and the back ranks go to the front. We've been through hell. Every time one of these blokes die, I pull their body off the front line. I put them in my triage, which, by the way, I'm the only one in triage. And I have to patch these fools up so they can go and die in a span of 30 minutes. We have been at a stalemate, one that is a questionable stalemate at best, as I'm for sure I've had at least 5 fatalities on my watch, and the orcs have lost nothing. We are in a full-blown, full open warfare. There's no command because I can't give issues because orders to issue because I'm busy doing triage. We have one front line and one back line. If you want to help, if you want to be the savior of these people, please either relieve me of duty or take up one of your own. It's just chaos in there.
Rufus gonna just go, yes, nods, and just goes, yes. The commander's tent. Can you lead us, Dad?
Do we look like we have a bloody commander's tent, you daft old man?
Maps. We need maps. Battle
You don't
tactics.
have a bloody map. Welcome to war, soldier. Welcome to the meat grinder. If you're lucky, you survive. pick a place and do your best. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've been healing people for 2 days straight. I'm a little testy. Apologies. Not very polite.
Rufa is gonna ask, so is the Nordics just pure chaos? Just no tactics, just hammering away?
You see Tobias like just kind of going,
We just got here.
listen, I don't know if you can tell. And he points and goes, the bloody orcs have only one tactic. That's hit as hard as you can, and if you get tired, go sleep for a spell. There's just chaos, and we're doing our best to hold the front lines, but quite frankly, they're falling apart. We need some sort of unit infrastructure. I need hands in triage, and you see Tobias pointing. And those idiot archers need volley instruction. If we're gonna win this, we need all of you to take your bloody spots and just queue up, mate. I've been sitting here running the whole bloody thing ragged. That's what they call Fort Rageddy. Huh.
Ha. Tobias, we get it.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Sorry.
Take a break. I'm taking over for you in triage. Shionibus, get to the archer's tent. You, Rufa, get as high up as you can so you can see if you can figure out what exactly is going on. You have a bird's eye view. You can figure it out from there. Ichi, your front line, you are with Morel. Morel, I know you say you're front line all the time. You and Ichi, you've got this. Hera and Antigone, you're going to be second wave. Whenever Morel and Ichi get tired, you are going to go as backup so we can try and get more longevity. Where is Ialenu?
So, great question that you asked. Ialenu was able to get 5 people because the militia to protect Mithun, not a lot of people. Ialenu is with you the whole time. She's basically checking in with Tobias and doing a whole debriefing with him. He is trying to be both authoritative and polite. Ialenu looks to you and says, all right, I've been told the situation. Do you need me at the front with Morel and in La Pacifica Rita? Where do you need me best?
Rufus gonna kind of raise his finger. Actually, I'm gonna need Morel.
Morel looks confused to you. What do you need me for?
The other night, we just did discuss battle tactics.
Yeah.
If anything, you know what Rufa has planned.
All right.
You to be a commander.
Everything Alona said is absolutely correct. This is how we're gonna get out of this kill box alive. If we're gonna get through this meat grinder, we're gonna listen to her formation. But second part of that, I have to be the front line. And I will give orders. And if you will let me give orders, we might survive on the fronts. Just please do as I say and don't question the humanity of my orders. I apologize in advance.
Okay. Ialenu, front lines. Shionibus?
Shionibus is going to look at Alona, being like, wow, look who's the leader now. And then look at Ialenu. I think I have a plan. Just don't get me killed in the meantime. And she's going to run off to the archers and give orders as quickly as possible.
Excellent. All right. So I need to make a quick few notes to basically where everyone is. Also, I saw in the chat a hype train is going. Thank you guys so much. Super excited. I might pull a last minute twist if we get this hype train up. I don't know what that twist is. I'll see what happens in the hype train. But until then, okay, so I have Shionibus with the archers. Shionibus, you notice the archers are on the rooftops of all the second story buildings. There is approximately 10 archers, and yeah, they're in business for themselves. There's no volley, there's accuracy, but you're picking your shots against a wall. Nothing is working well.
Can I stealth my way up to the rooftops and not be seen by Zaka?
Absolutely.
That is a 22.
Thank you so much for
For
the break
stealth.
gaming. 22 stealth. Okay. That gets past Zaka's perception. You are not seen by the young pup of war as you get to the rooftops. Really fast. Sidney did an amazing job playing Warfare Command. I need to know where everyone else is going.
Ichi's gonna pull out her warhammer and just say, "Point me where it's the worst. I'm ready."
Okay. If you don't mind, Sam, Morel's going to take over of this, and he's going to say, all right, for this formation to work, I'm going to need you in the back line. I only have one order, and that is whatever comes behind me, I need you to slaughter without mercy. Can you do that? Good.
She just nods.
Okay. So you become the second line commander of the front line. Sam, we will get to that in a bit. Rufa, I need to know where you are going to be placed. There is no commander's tent. There is no battlefield maps. Welcome to the suck. You're in a kill box and you're in the meat grinder part. So you're going to have to go someplace, my man. Oh, I will let you know. I will, if you want to. Morel starts breaking the formation with Tobias's information. There are a number of auxiliary units that can be used for hit and run tactics, but you have to place yourself in that unit for them to actually hear you.
Well, I was wondering, is there a way for Rufa to do what Alona suggested, to go somewhere where there's kind of a high ground to look down on the battlefield and also kind of organize the auxiliary units to do kind of a battle tactics like situation? Because I have an idea.
Now, the reality is you're not a battlefield commander in this situation.
Mhm.
It's impossible.
Okay.
Shouting orders of 5 auxiliary commands in the heat of battle, it's not going to be heard. So you can command 1 unit, or you can be perched on the second story of all the buildings around this kill box and basically have like what they call like warrior comm. Like you're looking everywhere, taking notes, and you're going, okay, we have something there, and trying to give information to someone else to give information somewhere else.
Okay, I think Rufa's going to do that to basically act as communications and tactics, I guess, situation.
Gotcha. Okay, you will be giving buffs to different units and activities as it moves on. Your conversation with Morel last night will give Morel and his unit a +1 already. So I've shown him his lapis for the Rita. Rufa, you're going to be on the second story of the buildings, just adjacent to the archers. Where are you going, Sidney? Where is Alona going?
Triage.
Okay, triage. Excellent. Do you want to have Tobias with you on triage?
Tobias needs a break. He can do whatever he wants, but I herefore release him from all duties because he looks like he could pass out literally at any time. I trust him to show me to triage, show me where they have everything set up, and then I can take it from there while he like maybe sleeps for an hour, anything.
Sure. Okay, so we have the positions. Frontline command will go to Morel as he engages the enemy directly on the shield wall. Hera and Antigone will be 2 different auxiliary forces. They'll be auxiliary 1 and 2 out of the total of 5. And I'm going to put, unless anyone has a better place for it, I'm going to put Iyalenu in charge of auxiliary 3.
You go.
Okay. Cool. We have our positions with that. Joe, if you're not already playing the fighting song of Fort Rageddy, please play that on loop because now it's war. I need everyone to make a initiative check, make it based on perception. I will allow Sidney to make it based on medicine as Alona is healing through combat.
Great.
Yeah.
That is 15.
All right, 15 for Sidney. All right.
Am I able to do stealth instead of perception again?
Yes, I will allow you to do stealth because I imagine you're probably going to try and hide your presence from Zaka throughout the combat. Yeah, go right ahead.
18.
18 from Shionobis. Nice. La Pacifica Dorita, what was your initiative?
A 13.
Heck yeah. Rufo on Warrior Com, what is your initiative?
26.
26. Heck yeah. Morel in the front line is rolling initiative. Okay. Shionobis, what is your dexterity modifier?
4.
Yeah, you're gonna go before Morel. Okay. Okay, well, Hera did poorly. So did Antigone.
Man.
And what do we have for Ielenu's? And of course, Ielenu crits. Okay.
Yay! Our girl! Get him!
Get him! Get him!
And that's the sound of Ielenu critting her initiative. So Ielenu grabs her 5 militia soldiers, runs into a group of auxiliaries. She says, "You all, I'm the captain now," and just books it into the battlefield. And the guys at Fort Rageddy is like, "Yes, captain, yes, captain." And they follow her. And you get the feeling that after just 1 second, they follow her to hell and back. And they just slam into the side of orcs. Next up is Rufa. So everyone except Rufa is going to be operating as a unit because you are in charge of units. Even if your unit is 2, in this case, Ilona and Tobias, a very tired Tobias. Rufa, because he's not in the unit, is going to be the only one operating as an entity. So you get 3 actions. What are you going to do, Rufa? You're perched on the 2nd story of a building, and you can see this kill box meat grinder for what it is. And it is just orcs randomly running and just slaughtering a person and running back. You see everyone taking their positions. What do you do?
Okay. Rufus going to look down, and first he's going to do is, because I'm hoping this could be actually a buff, could be represented as a buff or something. He's going to get a big ass piece of parchment, kind of slap it on a wall, and basically does a really rough drawing outline with doing kind of like, calligraphy, like paint. So I'm just going to represent this as the wall, if I could.
All right, so you're basically getting a drawing of the kill box. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that cool? Is that cool drawing?
Yes. All right. Is that your
Them,
formations or the enemy?
Us.
Okay. Give me a second line behind that front line. And it's accurate.
Of them or us?
You have 2 front lines. You have your shields, and you have what Morel is asking Sam to do. By the way, Sam, if at any point in time you don't want to be the second line commander, you don't have to be. I'm just offering that to you. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm doing John Madden it.
John friggin' Madden. So Morel's gonna
Jump back
over
into
here,
Nacken.
and a boom. All right. So, okay, cool. Give me 3 perception checks. This, if you want to, will be indicative of your turn.
Okay. First one is 19.
Okay.
Second one is 20. And, ooh, that's a lot. And the third one is 18.
Okay. So as you get position, you move your units up on a piece of paper. You see 3 things of interest. One, what can loosely be described as a front line of orcs is trying to break open and just storm the side flanks of the first line, possibly overwhelm them and surround them.
So these guys, right?
Sure. Yes, those are the enemies. Then yeah, absolutely. You see, they're going to break off and try to outflank the front line. The second thing you see is you see a unit of orcs has broken beyond the 2 front lines.
I'm numbering them.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This unit, you might want to listen to this really fast before we do that. So the second unit has broken past the 2 front units to the far right. They're going to outflank the entire front defense. You're going to probably want an auxiliary to run there. That's your choice.
Okay.
And the third thing of interest you see, way in the far back, you can see Zaka and another orc yelling at each other in Orcish. What you hear them say in Orcish is this.
I don't think I can understand Orcish.
You don't, but this is what you hear.
Oh.
Thosa malir sabsa mongon kulu. Krach tukaban. Dakis. Now, if you wish to form someone who does speak Orcish, or if on their turn, one of the players who does speak Orcish would like to make a perception check, they can basically translate that for you.
Okay, I think the Rufus gonna try to see if they could, somebody passerby and could understand Orcish, could translate.
Well, you are on the rooftops adjacent to the archery unit, which has Shionibus involved in that unit.
Oh, all right. Rufus gonna look over at Shionibus and kind of just, so good or bad? Is that a good yell or a bad yell?
GM, is that a good yell or a bad yell?
So Rufa tries to like say the words as he heard them. So he says, Dosa malir zabsa mongon kulo. Gaito kabam dakis. So what you understand is that the orcs, Zaka and this other orc he's talking to. Zaka says, make the Father of Scars' footsteps move already. There's a lot of agency and anger. The other orc says, we need permission from afar. And then Zaka says what can basically be translated into is this effing thing. Or it's weird because Ice is kind of like a title that is earned honorifically. And he's basically calling this thing, its title that's earned by it is the F word. So I guess you could say this effing thing. So they're talking about something called the Father of Scars' footsteps, and that they need to activate it, and it has to be activated from afar.
Shionibus is gonna yell back. I'm like, not good. Not good at all.
Rufus gonna
You
just
see
nod.
it?
I figured. Rufus figured. Really quick. So can he tell if it's going good or bad for our side?
Okay, so the third thing, well, I already gave you all 3 bits of information. Right now, all you're doing is establishing contact with the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you are right now. And it's not great. It's not bad. It's what it is.
Okay. Well, like I said, I guess you said that I have to spend this first turn to basically organize and see what's going on, right?
So with that information, I will allow you to buff 1 unit. The units that exist are currently the archers next to you, Morel in the front, Sam in the back, Triage in the middle, and the 3 auxiliary units, Hera, Antigone, and Yelenu.
All right. There, really quick, I just want a little information. So, pretty much, they're charging towards us right now, right?
Well, you have 1 unit that broke past the 2 front units. They're trying to outflank everyone and basically skate on by and probably kill Triage. So you can see that. You can see the front lines trying to spread out and basically surround the front line. And yeah, that's what you saw.
I'm gonna could Rufus give the bonus to basically whatever units basically kind of protecting the triage unit right now?
No units are protecting Triage.
Oh.
You have 3 auxiliary units, and that's it.
All right.
Great.
Could I send one of the auxiliary units to protect the triage?
You can send them in lieu of a bonus. Yes.
I will do that then.
Okay, which unit do you want to send to protect Triage? You have Hera, Antigone, and Ielenu.
Hera.
Okay. Understanding that, making a note by Hera, protecting Triage. Excellent, and that will be your turn. You have learned about the flow of combat, and you have moved 1 of your auxiliary units. That being said, next up is Shionibus with the archers. You know the information I mentioned previously, as Rufa took an action to be like, hey, so I heard this. What does it mean? And you're like, oh, not good. What do you do?
She probably has already started getting the archers together, like on the same page. Are we gonna have a signal? Should I just lock and load? Like,
The archers look to you and like arrows docked, and they go, well, in the past, when we've had a gunnery sergeant, usually they tell us to draw and fire, tell us a direction, and then we just aim and let go. But we just been picking them off left and right because we ain't got none.
Oh, this is gonna be rough. Okay. All right. All right. Aim for the skies, boys. I am going to use precision.
Okay.
Can I use precision and volley all in one turn?
How many actions is precision?
It is, I want to say 1, but let me double check.
Yeah, I believe they shouldn't be a problem to combine them so long as your action economy is okay. But also, I need you to roll for your archers as well.
Oh, no. Yes. Yeah. Precision is one
Okay.
action.
So yeah, you should probably be able to do both that and volley. You may have to take I think there's a penalty on that, but
Not for the first. Oh, I guess it would be like a -4. Okay. So roll for archers.
roll for the archers in your group. Yes.
17. Not as bad as I thought.
Okay. 17. Now here's how we're gonna do this, because that is a hit against an enemy unit of orcs. I need you to roll a d10.
Just one single one.
1d10.
6.
Okay, so you basically get them to fire and volley. They let loose a bunch of arrows. You see kind of moving around the battlefield like randomly this unit of orcs that you've been aiming after. The arrows come down with a slam. Now that, you know, all the arrows are grouping together as opposed to spreading out. 6 orcs drop in formation. As the arrows just stitch and litter their bodies, they just thunk to the ground. The other 4 remaining orcs in that unit are just kind of like, they take the blood from the wounds and they start pouring a line down their face and they just roar. But you put one of the units at half health. So there you go. Now, I need you to roll for you. What target are you picking here?
How far is, just out of curiosity, how far is Zaka from this unit that the archers already hit?
Zaka is probably about 20 feet away behind them in the south, basically down the road with this other orc, and they're just yelling at each other.
Okay. I'm going to aim at the other orc that's giving orders with Zaka.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit that orc.
Ooh, okay, okay. That is a 24 to hit.
That hits. Not a crit, but that hits.
All right, I used precision. Okay. Oops, wrong one. That's 10 damage.
Okay. So, as the 2 orcs are talking, suddenly an arrow just goes thunk right into the other orc's chest. And he's talking to Zaka, and he's just like, you know, just saying, we have to get help from afar. Thunk. Ow! And he breaks the shaft off as you can see blood pouring from his chest, and he's just like, that really sucks.
Let's just hit him again. Let's hit him again.
Let's do it.
Let's hit him minus, what is it, 4? That's at a penalty, right?
Yep.
Okay. Math. 21 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
Ooh. Hold on, that's a lot of math. That's 14 damage, right?
Oh.
No, just
boy.
kidding. 15. Sorry.
Okay. So, as the orc is looking at the arrow shaft, he just broke off in his chest and just like, ow. He's like, ah. As this arrow shoots its way through his neck and he just drops dead. Zaka's looking at this guy that just keels in front of him. He is going to now roll to try and perceive you directly. And it critical fails. So he looks into the swath of madness, and he just has this sickening snarl as he's just like, I will kill each and every one of the people in this city. Next up, we have Morel in the front line. Sam, as you're there, you're feeling the adrenaline as you and like the 10 dudes, 5 on your left, 5 on your right, are making the second line. Morel in the front just starts shouting battle commands. He's like, shield wall! Everyone slams a shield down. And he says, when I say open, you open. When I say kill, and he points to second rank, he says, you destroy. Open! And he opens the shield wall, sticks his fingers in the eyes of an orc, thumb in the mouth, and throws an orc behind him, closes the shield wall, and kicks the dude in the back of the knee. This orc is just on the ground, completely debilitated from that, and the shield wall closes. Because he crit that 20, so yeah. Next up is Ilona in triage. There are 3 bodies bleeding out in front of you. Tobias is just sitting on the ground, sitting on his butt, hands on his elbows, just wiping his face. His sword is stuck in the dirt. And he just says, all right, triage commander, as the Grand Hospitalier of the Order of the Platinum Hammer, I hereby defer to your wisdom. We have 3 bodies in bleed out. Who do we heal first?
Hopefully all of them.
And he looks to you and he says, sometimes you don't have that option. Who do we heal first?
What do the 3 look like?
You see 3 bodies and bleed out, one from a deep stomach cut, blood pouring from his stomach. It's washing the knees of his pants. One has a half-severed left arm. You can probably still like heal it and attach it. It'll work just fine, but right now it's just kind of laying there. And the third is a guy with a head wound who's applying pressure with a rag, but you can tell from his eyes and the fact that he's not lucid, this is probably going to turn into brain trauma.
Okay. Have they all been there for the same amount of time?
Say it again?
Have they all been there for the same amount of time? Did they all come in together?
Tobias says, approximately yes.
Are any of them dying?
Tobias look at you and says, they're all dying. Left arm might die last. Head trauma guy probably will die after left arm guy, but if his brain goes first, it doesn't matter at that point. Guy with the open hole in his stomach is basically already dead unless you can save him.
Great, I'm casting Rebuke Death.
All right. You cast Rebuke Death. Give me a medicine check on top of that.
Okay. I can target 1 to 3 creatures. I'm targeting 3, and they are healed 3d6 HP. Let me get out some more d6.
All right, roll those heals. Also, by the way, chat, I want to say I saw the level 5 hype train. I'm so friggin' stoked. I have the surprise coming for you guys. It may take a round, but it's going to happen. I'm very excited. And Effie Burton says, meanwhile, Joey eats ice cream and pastries. Yeah.
Death and destruction, sweets. Okay, so let me roll that medicine check on top of that real quick. So that is going to be a dirty 20 medicine check, and then they are going to be healed from Rebuke Death. They are going to be healed 14 points of health.
Excellent. So you cast Rebuke Death on these 3 bodies. They're healed 14 HP, and they are in stable condition. Immediately, the one with the bleeding gut wound, you can see the wound start, the torrent of blood slows to a stop as the stomach wound knits. The soldier is just kind of taking a minute because they're applying pressure to their open gut wound to stop and go, huh. The one with the head wound kind of just, oh my gosh, I can hear everything. And of course, the one with the arm, you see the musculature kind of attached to the body. The arm just reattaches. The soldiers look at you and they go, "Thank you, ma'am." They stand up, they brush off their nose, and they say, "To the front line! No retreat! No surrender!" And they pick up their weapons and they run back into the fray. And Tobias just goes, "There they bloody go, like they always bloody do." Listen, you handled yourself very well. More are coming. They always do. Make sure you're not overtaxing yourself. And accept the fact that at some point, someone's just gonna have to die.
I understand that. But until it gets to that point, I am saving every single person using every single thing I can.
Tobias looks at you with those blue glowing eyes and he says, "Good." He pulls his sword out of the ground and he shouts to the sky, "Upon this plate to Minerva!" And he puts this giant line in the sand and he says, "No one else dies this day." And then he kind of fumbles back to the ground and he goes, "Ooh, got up too fast. Oh boy." Now, you have any other actions for triage?
Is there anyone else in triage?
Not yet, but you see there are some people coming from the auxiliaries to the left and right.
Can I prep anything in my med pack to prepare for the people that are coming?
I will say you're getting that ready for the next round. That being
Okay.
said, moving on to the next bit, La Pacificatorita. You are second line command. Morel has just grabbed some dude by the face like a bowling ball and thrown him into your alley. It's gutter time. What are you going to do?
So Ichi's kind of going to look around at the fray and just this, where the action's at is what she's used to. And she pulls out the retribution axe and she's going to rage.
Yeah! Love
Yes!
that light show.
We got that there. Yeah. That was Sidney's idea, just so y'all know. Okay, so the rage light is on, and she is going to go ahead and, find an opportune position and just go in at whatever orcs in front of her with her axe.
All right. Roll to hit.
Let's see. And also, I just want to double check. Vengeful Hatred, it looks like it is +1 to hit on orcs. Is that correct?
It will be once you are hit by an orc. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
the
got
+1 to hit is static. My apologies. The +1 to hit is static. The +2 to damage is when you take damage from an orc.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, let's see what that was right there. To hit is... haven't done this math in 2 weeks, guys. This is...
It's quite all right.
Better.
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20. That hits. Give me a D10 roll.
Alrighty, D10. The heck is my D10? There we go. 7.
7. All right. So you see Morel is just throwing orc bodies in front of you left and right. And you in the front line, the second line, just starts laying into them. You're slaughtering these orcs left and right. 7 out of 10 are just laid to waste. The other 3 just look at you and start screaming, "Fuck! Fuck!" And they are like ready to die fighting. Correction, 8 are dead. 2 are still left standing. Slaughtered. That being said... All right. So... Antigone's unit breaks off of Hera's unit and starts running into the waste. They are fighting left and right. They're at a standstill with this chaotic unit of orcs. Rufa shouts at Hera to protect triage. Suddenly, Ilona, you see 5 bodies being pulled from the battlefield in different states of destruction and dismemberment, and they put the bodies down as gently as they can. And you see Hera with her giant war maul surrounding you in a circular formation. And she says, no one gets out dead and no one comes in against us. We are the ring of life. No one falters. And you now have this giant half-orc Amazon and 10 Fort Raggedy's just sword and shield, like they will not bulge. And that is the end of the first round of combat. Second round, now the orcs are going to be going on the offensive. Every time you make an action, there will be a counter action. Starting off, Rufa and Warrior come. You're perched on the top. You see Hera is now protecting Triage. No orcs can get in without a fight. You have the front line that is slowly being literally pulled apart as Morel is grabbing one orc at a time and just throwing them behind them, and the second line is just annihilating them. But you're noticing Antigone is having trouble, and so is Ielenu's having trouble with the auxiliary units. The orcs are running all over the place.
Okay. Well, I've been taking my the last few turns to draw some stuff, some ideas out. Time to see those History Channel and tactic games if they actually were worth my time. So anyway, this is the situation right now. Focus. All right. Rufa's gonna suggest a kind of a crescent formation attack, while we have them going down, down, down. We have Rufa send this squad here, here, and here. Basically, in the end, what he's going to do, as I've written out, we're going to try to position our flanks closer to the orc army while we have our center lag behind and have our center slowly retreat while we have our wings stretch the opposition and let them chase us with a bit, let them kind of exhaust themselves.
Sure. Now, before we get too complicated with that, I do want to ask for clarification. Are you moving Morel's front line to a full break right against one unit?
No, we're actually going to... Okay,
Because remember, you can only control one auxiliary unit. If you're asking the entire front line to break right, you only have the murder crew behind Morel, who's trying to basically pick these guys off apart, and Sam's doing a great job slaughtering them.
Then what I'm going to do, then what Rufa's going to have to do is have the front unit, the center unit, kind of slowly just kind of retreat back while having the back kind of reinforce their rear.
Remember, you can control one auxiliary unit. If you want to shout to Sam's unit, be like, hey, Sam, thing to consider, you can give him a buff. Or you can control one of the auxiliaries.
Who's in the center? Auxiliary.
The center is Triage, which is now being protected by the unit you sent there last time, Hera, who's doing a great job protecting the Circle of Life.
Okay. Can we order? All right then. I'm going to then. I guess simplest way would be give the bonus to Shonobus unit.
Okay, so you're going to give a bonus to Shonobus. All right, so Shonobus, on your turn, your rolling to hit will give you a +1 to that hit roll. This is, of course, stacks everything else. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn? Do you want to give a command to Antigone or Ielenu?
Well, let's see. I guess you said Hera was in the center, so the order would be to just kind of... see. Check my notes. Well, yeah, see if we can have the center kind of just lag behind a little bit and just kind of have them chase us. Try to basically exhaust them a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, the center is protecting Triage, so you can give that to Antigone or Ielenu to try and drag out some of the units to exhaust them.
Gonna give that order to Hera then.
All right. Well, Hera's protecting Triage.
Oh, Antigone then.
Okay. All right. Antigone will be on a shock and awe runaround, or run amok in honor of Woodward. Okay. Excellent. They are going to be doing those orders you issued. That being stated, next up is Shonobus. Shonobus, you have a +1 to hit. You have the unit you hit last time, who's about half dead. Of course, the guy you killed who's fully dead. I'll be right back.
Good, this gives me time to think of a plan while he's gone.
Exactly. And I hope it's a good plan, because he is a surprise, and that makes me nervous.
So nervous.
I know. By the way, chat, that hype train was amazing, and I just want to thank y'all so much for that, because
Yes.
that makes things crazy, even crazier, and also makes you feel appreciated.
I just want
Should
to
I have the
appreciated.
Appreciated. What?
should I have the hype train colors? Let's see. Does it change?
Oh,
Yes!
I like
Have the
that.
color when there's a hype train! That's such a good idea.
Yeah, so this is we can experiment with while PJ's gone.
Also, you transitioned to that rage light so smoothly. I'm very impressed.
I'm really disappointed I missed it. Not
I was
gonna lie.
planning.
Oh, don't worry. When I rewatch the episode and write timestamps for the clips, I'm clipping that for sure. We will have that forever.
Rage light. It's perfect.
It is, honestly. It just blows my mind. Also, it makes me nervous when NPCs that PJ plays says people have to die at some point. I don't like that.
So,
yeah, no.
So while I was gone, what did you decide you was gonna do, Shionibus?
That's a really good question. So she's probably going to. Is there another wave coming up behind the ones that are half dead of the orcs?
Yeah, you're seeing the relief unit is coming in to kind of switch out for those who are tired.
I'm gonna have the group target them,
The relief
so
unit
they're all
coming
gonna
in?
be like, yeah.
Brilliant. Roll to hit, you get a +1 from Rufa. Go ahead.
Is this for my archers?
Yep.
I don't add any bonuses except for that one, right?
Treat it as you would if you were rolling to attack yourself.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible then. That's a 17 to hit.
You'll be attacking the relief unit. Go ahead and give me a D10 to see how many you kill.
That's 4.
Okay. So that unit is at half health as your arrows fly. And the relief unit's coming in. They're shouting "Thok for Thok," and then you see a few just start getting stitched in the head and drop straight down. The others don't even stop their stride. Like, I will mourn him tomorrow, and they just run into the fray. You can do one action if you want to.
I'm going to stealth down the building.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at my I'm gonna stealth down the building.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, no one knows you're gone, not even your archer volley crew. As the relief unit's running in and 4 of them just drop dead. That's that critical sound of that stealth check. You hear suddenly the orc shout in Orcish. What loosely translates to weapons or tools, depending on what you do for a living. They're like, "Weapons ready, throw!" And a whole bunch of these weapons just start going airborne towards the archers. The orcs are retaliating. What is your AC, Shionibus?
18.
They missed terribly. So these axes just whoop, 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 and they kind of bang, batter, and reflect off of the awning ledge of the 2-story buildings that your archery unit is on. They can't do anything else as they run into battle. And as they throw their axes, they reach in and pull out those like punching daggers, and they just get ready to go ham. Next up, Norel. First of all, where are you? Well, you stealthed down off the roof, correct? All right,
Yes.
we'll end your turn there. Morel is now the frontline command. Morel is demanding the frontline moves on his order. They move forward. He's then going to try and throw more bodies for Sam. He grabs a bunch of dudes, throws them to the back line. Sam, you are now looking at 12 people instead of 10. And Morel shouts, after this unit, if you want to break off, you can make a secondary auxiliary. I think we're starting to break the bulge.
You got it.
Great. And then he shouts something in Akkadian, to which everyone in Fort Rageddy just kind of goes, yeah. Does anyone here speak Akkadian?
Nope.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Since that's our world language.
Yes.
Question. Would Alona know Akkadian because she's from Or?
And you guys have had kind of an on-again, off-again occupation. Give me a lore check.
Okay. That's a 16.
16. You've kind of heard this phrase used often, but without really a definition. You've only seen it as an example. You know, this is something that Akkadians would shout when they were about to go on like a massive countercharge, big bad time move.
Okay.
That being said, Morel's turn is done. He's given Sam a bunch of new targets and said, you can do whatever you want to do. You're a grown human. You got it. Dwarf, you got it. Next up is Alona and Triage. You are now surrounded by Hera's unit thanks to Rufa's orders. You have 5 bodies in different states of disarray, and Tobias is there as well.
Okay. Which are the ones in worst condition?
Give me a medicine check really fast.
Okay. That is an 18.
Okay. The 5 patients are suffering as thus. One has an open stomach wound. One has an axe blade still embedded in his clavicle. You have the third person who is currently nursing a horrible stab wound on their right arm and someone who is bleeding from the femoral artery in their right leg. That being stated, as you're dealing with this body, you suddenly hear like Hera just shout, "I'll put blood back in your blood," as she like just chest checks these orcs who have found their unit, and she is just like, "No!" Poof, crack, and you are now surrounded by combat as Hera's unit is engaged with the enemy to protect you.
Great. Okay. How many are dying? How about that?
All right, I'll put it this way. Femoral artery bleed out at this point in time. You know this body has approximately a minute left before they've bled out too much and they're dead. The one in the clavicle, you know that the weapon in the wound is probably doing a good job keeping pressure on the artery from just bleeding out entirely. Otherwise, the minute the weapon's removed, they have about a minute as well. The one with the wound in the right, that arm is basically incapable of action, but they will survive. You know that the one with the open gut wound, they're dying. Their timetable is not long. Especially before sepsis takes in, and then it's an interior infection that you just can't treat. Femoral, clavicle, stomach,
Okay.
arm wound. I feel like I'm missing one.
That's more than enough information. I basically since there's two people dying, I'm going to use one of my charges of heal and use the 30-foot emanation and use 1d10.
Okay.
Is that also at a +8? I don't think so. Use 3 actions. I think it's just the 30-foot emanation of 1d10. Okay, I'm gonna use heal, and I'm gonna heal all of them, or everyone in a 30-foot emanation. So let me grab my d10. Oh! That's a 10!
Full heal.
Yay! Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to do... she's going to sort of tap the ground like she did back with Iolenu, tap the ground, and then purple and gold emanates from the center, and then flowers are going to pop up. Flowers are going to pop up in every single wound where the blood is leaving the body.
All right. The soldiers immediately pop up feeling amazing, and there waiting for them with a smile is Tobias saying, "All right, soldiers, you have your marching orders. Go reinforce that lovely half-orc-ess as she is keeping you all alive." So the other soldiers is like, "Sir, yes, sir!" And they break off and they start reinforcing Hera's line. You hear shout of medic, medic as more people are on the way. Next up, La Pacifica Torrica. Sam, you have now 12 enemies standing in front of you. You also have the freedom to do whatever you decide to choose. You can either slaughter these 12 since they're kind of behind the front line and waiting to get meat grinded, or you can break off and form a new auxiliary unit. All the choices. What do you do?
I remember the instruction to kill anything coming up behind, so that's the main focus. Like single-minded.
All right. Roll to hit.
Alrighty. Let's see. That is a 22 to hit.
Nice. That will hit. Give me a D10.
All right. Just had that D10. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. The sparkles helped me find it. That is a 7 again. Did I get a 7 last time? Yep.
All right. So 8 of the 12 just get demolished in front of you. 4 are left standing, and they have made their peace with Gorm. They are ready to die fighting. And they are going to try to attack the front line themselves. What's your AC, Sam?
It is 17.
All right. They are going to...
Oh, I'm raging, so it's 16.
All right, they're going to crit. Okay. They spread out and start attacking your ally line. 7 of your soldiers are dropped as these orcs, just with great rage in their hearts, start moving through their lines and slaughtering your men. It's only a few of them, but they are not going down without a fight. All right. That being stated, okay. Antigone starts doing the orders that Rufa gave her. She is starting to run amok, and she does a great job. She will kill in the process 3 orcs from one of the auxiliaries, and with that getting their attention, she's going to start thinning their numbers to the far right flank. Oh, this is interesting. I should let you guys know now, when we started the battle, the number of units were 10 orc units and 8 Fort Rageddy units. As the orcs started their counterattack against Sam's back line, they did take out 1 unit of Sam's second line. The numbers are tied 7-7. The orcs are going to continue their counter offense. They critically fail. They critically fail. 2 of their own people get horrendously stampeded upon as their own auxiliary skirmishers are in disarray. Thanks to thank you so much, Joe, for that critical fail sound. As Antigone's shock and null run amok at Rufa's recommendation is doing a great job breaking up the enemy numbers. Hera continues to protect the line, the circle of life. Hold on. Okay. Hera is still alive. The 15 people surrounding you have been slaughtered by a unit of orcs. Hera is doing her best to hold the line. However, she is one amazingly talented woman against 10 orcs. With that, the circle of life around you has been broken, and the orcs are moving to make a rampage against Triage. Tobias starts readying himself with shaky knees and a quivering hand, knowing that this is going to be his time to do his job. Hera turns her attention inward as the units begin to rush Triage. That is the end of round 2. It's beginning round 3. Rufa, Warrior Com, what's up?
All right. I think last time it just got too complicated, so I'm gonna simplify some stuff.
All right.
I think you know what I'm planning on doing. Kind of updated the map a little bit.
Sure.
Can I give a +1 bonus to whoever is at Unit A and have them kind of advance towards? Basically, I think you know what I'm trying to do. Create kind of a use kind of box situation.
Yeah. You're trying to switch the offense and defense here. Yeah. Antigone is currently doing run amok, so she will not be able to change directions. But I will give you that order to Ielenu, who has on her first turn basically killed an entire unit by herself. She criticaled. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm giving the bonus to whoever's in Unit A, and to basically close down, basically advance and kind of create that sidewall there.
Okay. So she's going to flank and hold and attack that unit. Excellent.
Yeah.
She will do that now. What are your other 2 actions? Who do you want to buff, or who do you want to give a unit to auxiliary wise?
I was wondering, this counts as my green war case, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I was wondering if I could use devise stratagem.
Sure.
Okay.
Ielenu and the team, once you give her the orders, they slaughter another unit. The number is now enemy units 6, ally units 5.
Okay, that is a 22 on my devise stratagem.
Okay, and that is to hit a target, correct?
Yeah, basically, because I'm trying to, if I can, give the bonus or whatever to C in the form of aid.
Okay, then what I will offer Antigone on her next attack is going to have that attack be at a 22, which is going to hit.
Yeah. So basically have them advance too, basically kind of completing that U box formation.
Yeah. The enemy orcs are going to retaliate to Ehil. Really, dice? My dice are simping for her so hard. The other orcs do a counter charge against Ielenu's unit. She only loses 1 soldier. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, her unit's doing terrific. Bing, bang, boom. Next up on the list is... Why am I blanking? There's Shionibus. What do you do?
Okay. From where I am, I imagine it's like either behind a building or like in tall grass, like wherever she's stealthed away to. Is she able to see the triage now basically under attack?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm going to mark the one looking the most angry as prey. And use precision once again.
Mm-hmm.
And just hope for the best.
All right.
Not terrible. To me, a 15 to hit.
That'll just hit.
Thank God. Okay. All right. That's 7 damage.
Okay. You see one of the orcs breaking past Hera. Your arrow lands true right in the chest. They recoil from the damage, but they just keep moving through. Your archer volley you see the archers back on the hilltop, and they're on the second story of one of the houses. And they're like, I guess we fire. And they let go a bunch of arrows. To give those pointy headed idiots their due, they actually slaughter the remainder of a unit. However, one of the weapons goes wild and just like from the ground and slaughters one of them, just get clipped in the head with this axe and drop 2 stories behind the building. So their total number is good, but one of their guys got really badly killed. Shionibus, give me a perception check.
Oh no. Oh no. That's a 10.
10.
You do have hero point.
You do have your
I'm
hero.
not. Nope, that's gonna be saved in case I die.
So, you don't hear the orcs and what they're saying, but you feel it in the ground. You hear a rhythmic pounding. The ground shakes with every thunderous thud. Next up. All right, Morel's on the front line. Morel is pushing this further and further until eventually he basically shouts, break and countercharge, to which the 2 units just and run amok. And they're going right through. And they're making a very wide berth, and you can't quite see why just yet. Okay. Cool. As they break into what he's calling a countercharge, they deal half damage to one of the enemy units. Unit does half damage to them. You can see this horrible battles breaking out, and they are literally pushing these orcs back inch by bloody dirty inch. Morel's front line, they may be broken, but they are not beaten, and they're shoving these orcs literally back. Next up, La Pacificatoriza. No, I lied. Ilona, you are now surrounded by combat.
I know.
The men are slaughtered around you that protected you. And you're having bodies being carried from Sam's line with the wounds that they've just taken. You have Tobias Raphaelis, who's readying a fighting stance, his hands shaking, the color in his face just fading, and he's just sitting there ready to fulfill a promise he made.
Hold. Darn. I don't know if I can make that actually a thing. I have Sanctuary, which is ward creature against an enemy, but they cannot attack the enemy. Enemy has to roll to save against the ward, and if they fail, bad things happen. I don't know if that's. I think that's just for one person. I think Forbidding Ward that I also have as a cantrip is also just for one person. How many people are currently in the triage tent?
Fighting or coming to get aid?
Coming to get aid.
You have 7 coming to get aid.
And how many people are attacking?
10. Technically, you also have Tobias there, who is really weighing his options and figuring out the next move.
Oh, I know. Okay. I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward on Tobias. And I'm going to protect him against the orcs that are closest to him. That's a cantrip, so I can use it as many times as I want. That's good. And then no one's actually in the tent yet, correct?
They're approaching you.
Okay. So on this turn, I don't need to.
Oh, allow me for clarification. The 10 orcs are approaching you, as are the 7 wounded. Apologies, that changes your plan.
Okay. So no one's here yet. I still have time to prepare until they're here.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I am totally putting Forbidding Ward on Tobias, and I'm protecting him against the orcs. I'm also going to cast Forbidding Ward. Can I do 2 in 1 round?
I believe you're only limited to 1 spell a round, but I think if you have the action slots, yes? They're cantrips, right?
Yeah, they're cantrips.
I'm gonna say yes, because they're cantrips, and if it's only 1 action a pop, you can do that. Sure, I'll allow
Sweet.
that.
Awesome. So I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward on Tobias. Actually, that's 2 actions, so never mind. And I'm going to cast Guidance on Hera. So that's 2 and 1, so that's 3. That's 3 total. 3 actions. And that
Okay.
should be it. That's all I have.
So as you put the ward on Tobias, he recognizes the spell right away, and you can see him just kind of sighing with relief, like, "Oh, thank Minerva." He then stands in front of all the orcs coming after you, and makes a giant big display with his arms, and he shouts, "I am Tobias Raphaelis, House Raphaelis, Grand Hospitaller of the Order of the Platinum Hammer, and by the name of 2 gods, I dare you." He rolled an 18 in the die face as he intimidates them, and all of the orcs just kind of pause and kind of stop their charge and move in a wide circle around both you and Tobias. So with your ward making sure they weren't just going to slaughter him, and him using his action to demoralize them, and like they're breaking a tactic. They're now circling around you. They're not attacking anyone yet, but you are surrounded. That being said, La Pacifica, second line command. You only have, I believe, 4 people still alive in front of you. No, 2 people still alive in front of you. You can also break off that formation. What do you do?
I'm gonna break off the formation and try to back up the healers.
Excellent. Okay. The 2 orcs remaining are trying to attack you. They're going to knock down the rest of your unit that hasn't already been sent back to get healed. But you arrive to the Ring of Life, the Circle of Life, just in time with the soldiers who need healing. So now you're there too. You're seeing Tobias like trying to like scare these dudes off. You see Hera, who's trying to pick her shot with a ring, circling all of you guys. You're now falling back to protect triage. I'll give you 1 more action. Well, movements. I'll give you 2 more actions.
All right, I'm gonna start slicing up some orcs.
All right, roll to hit.
You know, Ian's not here, so I gotta use that accent. Someone has to.
You're picking it up from the people of Fort Rageddy.
Yeah.
It's true. I've been here 10 minutes and it's been too long already.
It's just the kind of accent what sticks with you, like right sticks to your ribs. You know what I mean?
It really does. That is a different. Okay. Oh, that's math. That is a lot. That's a 25 to hit.
That's a critical.
Yes!
Roll double.
Yes!
All right,
Oh,
double.
Sam.
Are you attacking a specific orc, or are you attacking the unit?
I'll say the unit, trying to go
Roll.
reduce the threat to them as much as possible.
Roll 2d10s. This is determining how many orcs you're slaughtering with this rage.
2 d10s. It's 2 4s, double 4s.
Okay, that's 8 plus the rage. Sam, you get back to the ring, and every ounce of your rage kicks in, and as you start gripping your axe, you can start seeing your uncle swinging behind you and just shouting swears and battle phrases with you. You slaughtered an entire unit by yourself.
Damn. There's a lot of spin attacks. Slice through one orc, spin around, slice through the next, and with like footwork, like a dancer.
Yeah, so everyone, you're there, right? Everyone in the ring. That's you, Alona, Tobias, Hera's trying to pick her shots. And then suddenly you just hear this battle cry. And in the span of like 3 seconds, 10 orcs are just destroyed and mangled as like covered in orc blood. It's just this seething dwarf luchadora from Azmakan, just like, and Hera's is going, respect, much respect.
Can I cut in for a hot
Ichi knows
second?
the ring is where she belongs.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like if Ilona can start chanting Ichi.
Yeah.
Ichi. 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 Ichi.
Okay, so you're like,
Gives her life.
Suddenly, Hera's like, Ichi, Ichi.
Ichi.
Then 10 bodies get dropped in the circle that need to be healed. But off in the front line, you're seeing Ielenu's auxiliary unit, Antigone's run amok unit. You're seeing Morel's breaking charge, just shouting Ichi, as they just like do their best. Let's see. That is La Pacifica. Hera looks at everyone and she says, "Do you need me here for these units, or do you need me to break back off into the field?"
She's talking to Ichi.
Talking to everyone in the triage.
I'll defer to Alona.
If you want to go, you are more than free to go. Because at this point, you don't have anybody else with you. So it's just gonna be you, and I know that's a lot of pressure. So if you feel like you're needed back with Antigone, you absolutely can go back and join your friend.
She breaks off and rejoins Antigone. She will be giving a buff to Antigone's unit, because Antigone and Hera work great as a unit together. Antigone is still running amok. Once Hera joins their unit, they go on another slaughter, and they miss terribly. The orcs proceed to attack them in response. They also miss terribly. But it's keeping units running all over the place. They're getting exhausted. They can't get a bead on anyone. Looking over the tally right now, the total of ally units stands at 4. The total of enemy units still alive and running around totals to 4. It's a tie, and there isn't much room for failure. As this happens, the stomping gets louder and louder. Everyone roll a perception check.
Oh no! No!
This the surprise.
Nat 20.
All right.
Oh, that beats mine.
That's all right. I still want to hear everyone's, because there's a lot of stuff going on here.
I have a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nat 20. What you got, Rufa?
23.
23. What you got, Sam?
Mine's a 19, so I don't know why I was complaining.
Super solid. So, the enemy units total 4. The ally units total 4, with at least an entire unit heading to triage. If the entire unit can be healed, they can be put back on their feet. They can turn the tide of this fight 5-4. Morel's already prepping a countercharge this close to overwhelming the orcs and pushing them out of Fort Rageddy for good. And it is at that time, Shionibus, you hear Zaka exclaim, "The footprints of our god. The Scarfather's steps finally takes the field. Let them pay for the death of my brother. Blood for blood." And the stomping gets louder and louder as the orcs break from Fort Rageddy. And parting them like the sea is new unit, Lova, carrying a massive spear across his shoulders. He stomps into town, into Fort Rageddy. You are now facing new unit Lova. And next to him is Zaka. You see Lova stop for a second. Listen like he's listening to the winds. He grabs Zaka by the waist and throws him into the sky. As he throws them into the sky, you all witness this horrific, monstrous creature flying over Fort Rageddy. It's like if a horse and an ogre and a bat made a child. This creature with hooves that then split into hands like a man grabs Zaka by his shoulders and takes him off. And as this creature grabs Zaka and flies, you can hear Lova saying in Old Orcish, "New unit Lova. Target acquired. We will destroy Fort Rageddy. Korokos, your new champion is on his way." And then he turns back to everyone else. And that's when you hear the surprise, the actual surprise of the level 5 hype train as a second loud, stomping, thunderous footprints come from behind you, breaking the trees, like opening a curtain on stage. You hear another loud thump, 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 and breaking into Fort Rageddy behind you, cracking his neck and resetting his digits, you see new unit Leon Tari. Target acquired. Lova! War promise your head to Korokos. And with that Hype 5 train, you are now smack dab in the middle of two super orc kaijus about to kill each other. And we'll get to that in 5 minutes as we take a 5-minute break. When we come back, the big and possibly final fight of the Battle of Fort Rageddy. Lova versus Leontari and all the heroes of Edge of Legends. We'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll see you then.
I hope you like your surprise!
Good
GPJ, trauma. Not a surprise, it's trauma.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for that 5-minute break. Hope you guys are as excited as I am, because here we are facing off against Lova, and at your back, Leontari. Play that awesome fight music, Joe, because we are going right back into war. All right, welcome, heroes of Edge of Legend. Welcome, wonderful legends in the chat, to the first boss fight these people have ever had to fight. That's right, a 20, maybe even 30-foot tall orc with a 30-foot tall orc backing them up. We're going to see what happens right now. Everyone roll a brand new initiative roll as we deal with the boss fight and final fight of episode 23, the battle for Fort Rageddy.
19.
Oh, that's
What was that, Shonibus? 19?
Yes.
Oh,
14.
this
Was that Sam that was 14?
Yes.
All right. And Alona, what's yours?
26.
Rufa, what you got?
21.
Nice. I will be saying this as the steps between the steps, as Lova entered Fort Rageddy with a massive siege spear, the likes of which some of you may remember peppering and destroying Cobbled. Morel, Tobias, Hera, Antigone, and Ialenu form a powerful countercharge and literally force, by blade or by strength, all of the orcs out of Fort Rageddy. You are now standing in the ring, and looking across you all is a hated siege weapon, an organic tank of a man. And Lova looks to you all with not just hate, but surgical precision in his eyes. These are orders. This isn't personal. This is war. First person up. With 26, is that correct, Alona?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You can also withhold an action or wait your action until something happens.
No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Forbidding Ward on who in our lineup, who is closest to Lova?
Sam.
Sam. Okay, I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward on Sam. This means that you are protected. +1. You have a +1 stat to your AC and saving throws against Lova.
Got it.
And then I'm going to use Detect Magic because I have 1 extra action, and why not?
Very, very nice. I want to get a quick minute to shout out and say hi to Dice Drinks and Drama for the raid. Perfect timing, you guys. You just got here for the first boss fight of Edge of Legend, as these 5 heroes face off against a super orc who stands over 30 feet tall. But don't worry, they have a kaiju orc themselves backing them up. We're going to see what craziness happens in this boss fight. So, Ilona, you're doing the protecting ward on yourself, correct?
I am doing the Forbidding Ward on Ichi.
Ichi, thank you. All right, Ichi, you have the forbidden ward. You have, I believe, that's 1 action or 2 actions to cast forbidden ward.
It's 2 actions to cast Forbidding Ward.
All right, you have 1 action left. What are you gonna do?
I was going to use Detect Magic.
Right, you did say that. My apologies. I was addressing the raid. Sorry.
All good.
Okay, so you're detecting magic on which specific thing?
I'm detecting magic on Lova.
So you detect magic on Lova. You are overwhelmed by how much magic is brimming off this orc. First thing you see is this tremendous necromancy coming off of his body. You also get some other lesser bits, almost like out of character. It's like when you play Operation, and you can see, Operation Oliver on your table. But you can also start seeing little things all throughout his body, and it's a giant quilt of magic as he just starts stomping into Fort Rageddy.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right. Lova's gonna go. Lova enters a great rage and throws his siege spear at Leontari behind you. He crits. He does 1, 2, 3, 4d10. Six, 12, 13. He does 22 damage as the spear gets thrown at Leontari. Leontari takes the spear to the chest, gripping it, sliding back into the trees. You can hear the spear being dug out of his chest as he drops it. The spear itself, the size of a tree. He drops it, and you can see this unusual goo just oozing out of Leontari's chest. As without hesitation, he keeps repeating, "New unit Leontari. Target acquired. Lova's head for Korokos." And he just starts slowly stomping back into the fight. Lova then takes his other 1 action to punch into the field. He is aiming for... He would aim for Sam. What is the roll to overcome Forbidding Ward?
I don't think there is. I just think that she gets a bump. Forbidding Ward is not Sanctuary.
AC.
Yeah,
Okay.
she gets a bump to her AC and
Good.
saving throws.
Perfect, because I think there's some confusion on my end when the spell is used last. So, he is going to punch Sam.
But she's so small.
Come at me, bro.
He's
Can
so
you reach?
big.
Can you even reach?
Yeah, that's true. Dodge.
With his 30-foot height and his reach of over 15 feet, yeah, he's going to reach you. Don't worry, though.
Okay.
Don't worry, though. Does a 27 hit you?
Oh my god. Yes.
We're level 2. Of course it hits her.
Hey, look,
TJ.
I don't know. Maybe the bonuses are like some dummy thick bonus. I don't know.
It's just a +1.
You like to torment us.
He does 10 bludgeoning damage to you, Sam. As he punches you with this giant fist, you can feel with this almost instinct-like preternatural speed, he punches you and grabs you. You're now in the hands of Lova. And he's all out of actions. Next up, we have Rufa. What are you gonna do, Rufa?
Okay, first of all, as soon as Rufa sees us, he's gonna kind of slaps his hands on the table. Let them fight.
And you know that's giving you a hero
what I want
point.
to do.
And you know that's giving you a hero point because
Yeah.
I love Ken Watanabe.
Mhm.
All right, so are you gonna do anything else with your turn?
Yeah, actually, as Unit A and C kind of closes the walls,
Mm-hmm.
can I have at least a third of the back forces bolster Unit B?
Before we do that, I will reiterate the entire Orc army has been shoved out of Fort Rageddy
Okay.
on a countercharge. So really, it's just you guys and these two massive dudes.
Okay. Then would Rufa be able to kind of grab just like somebody who's kind of like around and ask where anything flammable is?
You
Like
can give me a
liquid flammable.
You can give me a perception check to look for the fact that you love to use fire for everything. Give me a perception check.
I'm not a pyro.
And yet your solution to everything is, so I start a fire.
Or push over a building.
You said perception, right?
Perception, that's right.
22.
You see some tar that they would use to create some of the roofing and some other things within the city. It's flammable. It's not explosive, but you know you can definitely still use this for some sort of fire-based attack.
Okay. Really quick. Also, Uva and Leontari, are they near anywhere with like tall buildings?
So you're inside Fort Rageddy. Fort
Yeah.
Rageddy is only 2 stories tall.
Uh-huh.
Leontari took a siege spear to the chest and shrugged it off like it was Tuesday, but he's walking his happy ass back in. That's the state of combat. You're not really seeing much else than that.
Okay. Well, Rufa's going to go try to find a unit with some big beefy boys that could throw stuff really far away.
Again, all the units are on the countercharge, pushing the orcs out. It is U5, U4, and Leontari versus Lova.
Then Rufa's going to run over to try to find Itchy because out of everybody in our group, I think he knows she's the one who could probably throw stuff really far.
Dude, tighten up. Dude, tighten up. Ichi is in Lova's hand, being held by him.
Darn. All right. Well,
if you need
he's just like, darn.
Wait. I got an idea.
Yeah.
Their size,
Yeah.
Uva and the Intari. What are their size categories? Because I do have a feat that might help.
Their feet, I'm sorry, their size, let me tell you, their size is huge.
Oh, huge? Oh, I don't think Titan Wrestler is going to work, right?
No, it has to be large. Huge is too big.
Actually, well, is there any oil or anything lying around, slippery stuff?
Well, the one check you got was for that pitch tar. That
Can I make
stuff that
another
they
roll
use.
to find?
This will be your last action, but yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find something slippery like grease or oil.
Smart move.
$28.
You are able to find in the stables, you see what looks like a giant barrel full of the kind of grease they use to like keep axle wheels going on the things. However, you are worried that the sandy area might absorb some of the slick components of the grease, but still potential there, especially
All right.
considering that you have grease and pitch tar.
All right, Rufa's going to have one arm with the pitch tar and the other arm with the grease.
Not yet. That was just to perceive it, my man.
Oh,
Next
okay.
round. Our next action goes to Shionibus. You got your big baby boy with a giant oozing chest wound coming back from the trees, and you have this new guy holding on to Sam. What do you do?
Oh god. And Zaka's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. How far is Alona from Shionibus?
To my knowledge, she's still in the ring of life, the circle of life, so I'd say she's probably about 15, 20 feet away from you.
That's too far. Too far. Okay. We're just gonna fire. We're just gonna do it.
There we go.
And I'm just gonna hope for the best that I don't get hit. Oh, we are definitely using a hero's point. So much better. Okay. That is a 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. That's a crit.
Yeah! Yeah!
Roll double damage.
Okay. Okay.
And if you have, I believe it's, I always get deadly and fatal confused. If you have whichever one increases the dice bonus when you crit, apply that as well.
A whole lot of dice, homie.
Throw them dice at me.
I wanna make sure I got all the dice. Hold on. Where are my notes? Yeah, okay. Here we go. Ooh, not terrible, not terrible. That's 22 damage.
Tit for tat. You return the spear damage back to Lova. 22 damage. Now I gotta do math. Give me a second.
Not too bad for level 2.
Darn straight. So you take your bow and you fire, and at first the arrow kind of struggles to get into the thick mass of Lova, and then suddenly it just like pierces in, and you can see this unusual color liquid just pouring out of Lova's chest as he kind of looks confused for a second, and then focuses on you. I believe that was one hit, right? How many actions do you have
One
left?
action. I have
There
2
you go.
left.
What you gonna do?
We're going to do the same exact thing, but I want to try to hit the same arrow. Is that arrow? Okay, let me back up. Is the arrow that hit him still embedded into him?
Yep.
Cool. So she's going to hit that same arrow and try to split it to get at least one of the arrow points deeper.
You're gonna split
That sounds
Ruben's
mad
arrow into
gross.
twain. Go right ahead.
Ooh, that was definitely cocked. Hold on. That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Oh my god. That's 5 damage.
All right.
We're gonna stealth away for the last one, for the last action.
All right. Yeah, I'll be generous and say a stealth and movement can happen on this one. Yeah, go ahead and stealth and move.
That is a 21. Sorry, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, he doesn't see you at all. You are able to sneak away, no troubles. Okay. So the first shot it starts to, I guess you can see his body resisting the arrow, and the arrow breaks through. The other one kind of like goes right next to it, makes the wound a little wider in his chest, but just a little bit. Next up, we have Sam. You're in this dude's hand. And even though you have a hard time being picked up, it does not stop at all. He just picks you right up to his head.
Boy.
But you're in his hand. And his hand is right here by his head. You just gotta break out of his grip. One action to break out. What are you gonna do? You can use either acrobatics or athletics.
Let's see what we want to do here. Athletics. She's been lifting weights.
All right. I will let you know this is going to be a hard DC to beat, but give it your best.
All right. I got a +8, so maybe we'll see if that'll help me out there. Let's see. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You are pushing with all your might, and you're seeing his fingers slowly start to break from his grip. But eventually, he gets you back in. And he is gripping you tightly.
So that... Oh,
One action.
no.
You have
Do I have
two-
another action to try?
You have... Yeah, I'll give you, since you have 3 actions, I'll give you at least one more to try and break out.
Got it. Come on, dice. Oh, that's less. It's not gonna do it.
Okay. So you try to break out with
Oh
your
wait, I do
leg.
have a +1. Because Alona gave me death ward, so that previous one would have been a 21.
Still
know if that makes a
regrettably
difference.
a few points shy of actually breaking his grip on you. You have
Yikes.
1 action
Okay.
left. Anything
Do
you
I? Are my arms free or no?
can...
Like, can I make attack while in his grip?
I'm gonna say no. Your whole body would be encompassed by his massive meat fist. So yeah, you're still kind of trapped by his fingers. If you want to, though, I will make the
Okay.
DC lower, and you can break your arms free as opposed to your whole body free. And you can use your 3rd action to try and break your arms free of his grasp.
Okay, before I decide about that, very important question.
Mhm.
How much damage does a dwarf bite have the potential to cause?
I'm gonna say, since it's not like a quote-unquote natural weapon, I will say 1d4 plus strength, but it's non-lethal in this case. Only because
Doing
he's
it.
massive. Do it.
Because Ishi's raging, so she's just like, she's gonna go bite him. Who knows?
Little
Maybe
rabid
he...
Wolverine.
What would be my my bonus to hit
Strength
on
based.
that?
It would be strength based, and if you're trained in unarmed combat, I think you are. Yeah, so you can roll like you would
I
normally.
am. Like what I would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a 17.
You hit. You hit. Roll 1d4, add your strength, bonus damage because you're raging. Go ahead and bite him.
Okay. Got
It
it.
is not lethal, though.
Oh, that's a 4. That's max damage. So that's 8.
8. All right. 8 non-lethal damage as you're like, "Ang!" and you just bite into his knuckle, and you see Lova just look at you and just go. And in Orcish, he just says, "Adding your head to General Korokor's orders." Like, this angry little ferret is biting me. I'm not okay. That was Sam's go. It's Leontari's turn. So Big Boy, who takes the big siege spear out of his chest, throws it down, runs back into town. He enters a rage. You can see red lightning piercing the lids of his eyes as blood starts to pour down his cheeks, as he then raises this giant fist and throws a huge overhand right at Lova. He swings this wide right hook. As he does this, he plants his foot. The arm goes way too wide. He's not used to fighting within a city, and he clips this gigantic tower in Fort Rageddy. The tower explodes into a storm of shards and splinters as he has destroyed the watchtower that is placed in the center of the city. The blow goes wide over Lova's head, who ducks under and gets ready to punch with the hand that's still holding a biting dwarf.
Question, PJ. Was
Yeah.
that watchtower the one that Rufa was on?
No, you're on the second story of the building next to the archers.
Oh, okay.
You're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. So that's the first round of combat. Next round of combat, top of the round, Ilona.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see if I can help Ichi get out of that thing. Oh boy, do I not have a lot of options for getting friends out of fists of gigantic works. You know, in this moment,
Ichi's like, I got this. No.
Ilona's gonna shoot Divine Lance at Lova's fist in hopes that he'll drop Ichi.
All right, roll to hit.
Okay. I don't know what my bonus is for spells anymore because there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a 26.
That's a crit.
Yes. Yes.
So go ahead, roll double the dice and double the bonus damage.
Oh my god. What? It's been so long. It's been so long since I've done this. Okay. So that is 2d4. So that is okay. And that is okay. That is 8 points of damage. You see this beam of light coming out of Ilona's hands, kind of like a Kamehameha. And the beam of light hits Lova's fist.
So I almost imagine because it's crit, like you put one hand out and then you slap the other hand on, and the flower that's blooming before the light beam shoots out, you put your hand there and the flower just grows. This massive purple flower almost engulfing you. This big beam fires out of your hands. This golden light slams into Lova's fist. You actually see him like prepping a punch, and his fist gets knocked back a bit against his will. He's looking as the scorch marks on his knuckles starts to grow little purple flower petals that then just rain to the sky. With that damage, he will be at a minus to the DC needed to break out because his hand's just kind of been knocked loose a bit. That's 2 actions, correct?
Yes, that is 2 actions. And then with my other action, there's no one else close to me, so I can't cast guidance because I think, wait, can I cast guidance? Is that just vocal?
Actually,
I believe
might
it's either
need that
vocal or touch.
later.
I think it's just vocal. I have that checked, so if it's not, you can yell at me later. But I'm going to cast guidance on Shionovis.
All right.
You have a +1 to stat bonus. Shionovis.
Nice. All right, so you shoot the big blast, you buff Shionobis. Leotari's turn is going to go. He is going to take the dwarf in his hands, and with one action, he's going to do what's called throw anything. After grabbing something, Lova can use his impressive strength to throw anything they are holding as part of the grab immediately if they have the turn action, which they didn't last time. This does not add the multiple attack penalty. It can be thrown up to 30 feet. You are going to be taking, Sam, the equivalent of the damage that would be normal fall damage for him throwing you at Ilona.
He's throwing me. Can I have like a reaction to kind of like hold on to him?
I'm going to say no for now.
Okay.
Because he's whipping you with preternatural speed, as he would normally if he actually had the action economy last round. Ilona, what's your AC?
Not more than it needs to be. It's I have shield. So that's a 15, and then 5 damage is absorbed before I take any damage.
Okay. So it's not a critical, but he will hit you.
Okay. You're a rock person.
So, you are thrown 30 feet. I will say, because you're a rock person, well, rock dwarf, you will take less damage. You'll take half of this half. So, you both take 15 damage. Now, you get to take half that 15, Sam, so we'll be taking 7 damage. You're using shield, Sidney, so that means there will be a 5 damage prevention. The rest are going to bleed through. So that means you're going to be taking 10, And Sam, you'll be taking 7 damage as he just whips you for 1 action right at Ilona. With the other 2 actions he is going to... Who else is on the battlefield? Your stealth. He's going to punch Rufa.
No.
Rufa, what's your AC?
Oof, 19.
Oh, he misses by so little, but he misses with his punch. So he whips, throws a huge right punch, and it crashes through the house. With his last action, he is going to grab and throw a chunk of the house at Leontari. He's going to hit Leontari for 15 damage. Okay. After that, it is Rufus' turn.
Okay, narrowly escaping that punch, Rufa's gonna look around. I'm guessing you said that he has, right now, just to clarify, he has that thing of tar, right?
You solved them. You have not picked up any of them yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll say you can use your turn to pick up both of them, and that'll be
Okay.
it, because you have to pick up one, run over, and pick up another.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one action to do that.
To pick up one, the pitch tar or the grease?
You said I could use an action to pick up both of them, right?
No, I said that would be next round. You
Oh,
can
okay.
use one action to pick up one.
Well, fine. I'm gonna use 2 actions to do that. So both of my arms are full. But the fact that I have both my arms full, would I be able to chuck them together since I'm holding both of them?
So, you will take your entire turn to pick up one of them, run, and get to the other one. It's a lot of distance, a lot of movement.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to mix them until your next turn.
All right, then I think I'm going to just pick up the grease then.
Okay, so you go to pick up the grease. You have you run, pick it up. You have 1 action left. What are you going to do?
Would it be... Okay, wait. Yeah, this is still considered part of the my open case with the Green War, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which means it's a free action. My strategic stratagem thing.
Okay.
I believe it's a free action now. Let's
Really
see.
fast.
Am
Are
I
you
within
planning-
throwing distance though?
Oh, no, not from where the grease is. No.
Fudge.
You can
All right.
move, and on your next turn, throw it at the guy if you want to.
All right. Okay, if that's the case, can I just grab both of them with all my turns?
Yes, with all your actions this turn, you can pick up one, run over, and pick up the other.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll end my turn on whichever is the furthest away from the 2 giant orcs.
I'm going to say you're going to pick up the pitch tar and then run over to the grease, and that'll be your turn.
Yeah.
All
It'd
right.
be the furthest away from
Yeah,
those guys.
yeah, you're safe. And you have the 2 of them, so your next round you can mix them together if you wish to. Next up is Shionibus.
Okay. Am I first? I'm going to mark Loba as prey
Mm-hmm.
because I am currently stealthing. Do I get sneak attacks?
Yes, you do.
And I'm able to do it for a range. I'm able to do it for a range attack, right?
I think
This will be
within
the first
30
time using
feet.
it.
Yeah, within 30 feet, you should be okay.
He's well in 30 feet, right?
Oh, yeah. His whole body is 30 feet away from you.
Cool. Yeah, that's what we're just gonna hit him and hopefully stay hidden at the same time. Yeah, definitely hit him. That's gonna be a 25 to hit.
That's a dirty crit. Factoring all the flat-footed goodness, yeah, that's a dirty crit. So by all means, take that normal damage, take the sneak attack, double both of them, and of course double the bonus to that.
Oh, where did my D6 go? No. Hold on. I got this. A whole lot of dice right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is. Did I do that right? Hold on. That's a lot of damage, and I just want to make sure.
I mean, it's like 2d8 plus 2d6 plus whatever your bonus is. I can see that being a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's 20 damage.
There we go. There we go. That's what's up.
You go, girl. Get him.
Get him! Get him!
He was only your child because he was Leontar's friend anyway.
No, Lova wasn't mine. Lova was just there.
So you pull,
Leontari, on the other hand.
so you run and hide, and you hit, and this arrow you see sticks into the temple of Lova. Lova just kind of blinks a little as this weird chemical starts flowing from his head. He seems hurt but unfazed.
Let's go round 2. Oh, there goes that dice. Lord knows where that went. Oh, that one's not as good. That is 12 to hit.
That'll miss. You have one action left.
Can I hold until he like makes a move at me?
You can. However, I will say because the arrow went right here, he's very easily able to look at the direction the arrow came from and know the direction and the area of the arrow's home.
Then we're definitely gonna move. We are definitely gonna move. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Am I able to stealth away again?
Like
This is like
yeah, I'll give you moving stealth in the same action. Why not? You are moving stealthily. Might as well.
cool. That is like a 24?
24. Yeah, that beats his check. So yeah, you break off into the forest. He looks where you're from. He hears the going off in the forest, and he looks around confused, having lost tracking of you. Sam, you're back in the fight. You've been thrown at Alona. You're now kind of on her body. What do you do?
Oh boy. Ichi's still raging, and she crazy. So, how far away is she from that big boy?
You are 30 feet away from him.
Ichi is. Let's see. We are going to sudden charge. So basically, she gets thrown off, hits into Alona, and then just gets up again, is like, "Rah!" and just starts running straight back for him. And sudden charge is I'm going to stride and make a melee strike as it'll be 2 actions.
All right, roll to hit.
Come on, dice. Ooh, that is going to be 26 to hit.
That's a crit.
So I don't think I've had a crit to hit before. Is it? What do I do with the damage?
Sure. So you are going to roll double the dice and add double the whatever the bonus is. And I will add, since Lova grabbed you and threw you, you've noticed your axe has created this really weird skull, this really unusual layer of something that looks like it should be meat, but it's not quite meat. And then finally, the skin of Lova is now the skull on your axe. That +2 damage is coming in at now a +4 as it's doubled. So it would be double the dice, double the strength, double the 4, double the rage, I believe.
Oh dear lord.
This might
Oh god.
might be it.
Let's see if we can do this math. I'm gonna say it out loud so I don't mess up. Double the die. I'm rolling 2 dice, right?
2 dice, yeah.
2d12.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. All right, rolling that. That is a 9 plus 3 plus double the strength, which is 8, plus you said 2 for my axe, which is double, which is 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 24, and then my rage damage is 2. Is that double?
That should be doubled, I believe. Yeah.
So that is 28.
Oh my god.
She's
So-
just wild.
So he throws you, and he's whipping back to punch Leontari again. Leontari, who's just destroyed that whole tower, is getting ready to sock this guy in the head. You come running up, and you just anger in your heart. You just about to ready to slam your axe. Ichi, tell me the tale. And how you slaughter Lova.
Okay, so I think Ichi is just gonna be running towards him, and she'll take like a swing at him and then jump up on him and kind of like climb until she finds like where she knows like a soft squishy spot. She'll take the axe and just slam it right into him, and then just like ride out the crash as he slams into the ground.
All right, now, doing a Voltron this, tell me the tale. Do you all want to get a little bit of one shot against Lova as we slaughter him? Then here's what I want. One quick description, one quick action, nothing long. How are you adding to the slaughter of this massive beast? Ilona, what are you doing?
Oh God. Okay. That's not lethal damage, so she's not gonna do that. I was like, she's gonna kick her with her hands.
You can still do that if you want to.
Oh well, he's already dying anyway, so it's not like she's actually doing anything. No. Nope. Divine Lance. Divine Lance.
Divine Lance. Shionibus, what are you doing?
Arrow to the eye.
Arrow to the bloody eye. Rufa, really quickly. No time. What are you doing?
I guess since I have the barrels, chuck the barrels like Donkey Kong.
Chunk the barrels like Donkey Kong. Here we go. So, Rufa start mixing his barrels awkwardly. He grabs it. He runs up with all of his strength. You see this barrel go wild into midair. You see suddenly Shionibus take an arrow, dock it, fly. It pierces the barrel, going through the muck and nasty, and it lands deep into Lova's eyes. Lova's head ricochets back as the inky blackness starts to pour from his eyeball, confusion and pain. You start seeing Ilona going, this is my time. One hand out, two hands out, hands together, raises this giant purple flower in the name of Aphra, fires the biggest divine lance the goddess herself will give her, and this big golden beam breaks through the grease and sludge and slams Lova on the other side of his face. And then the fire explodes, shrapnel flying everywhere as burning fills the sky. And in the midst of this chaos, you see a dwarf climbing a living mountain, finds ephemeral artery, and then slams her blade right in there. Lova screams as he's on fire, blinded, concussed. And then this dwarf lets her body take the weight. In the name of La Rona de Hierro, in the name of La Raza, she drags that blade down. His whole leg splits open. He screams in pain as this weird chemical rains onto the sky. He drops to one leg, and looking at him, cracking his neck, is Leontari, who puts one hand on the top of Lova's head, rears back this massive punch, and he says, "Target acquired. Mission successful," and throws a punch into the side of Lova's head so massive the breaking of a neck shatters like bubble wrap as the jaw dislocates and the skin rips from his collarbone, and Leontari rips the head with one massive punch off the shoulders of Lova. Lova, before death comes like a friend in the night, says, "New unit for Lova. Retiring from service. Apologies, General Korokos. The dwarf was too strong." Head ripped from his shoulders as the massive body drops arms and shoulders go limp, and he falls, headless, lifeless, into the greasy, burning sands of the fight pit of Fort Rageddy. And standing around his corpse, triumphant, are the heroes of Edge of Legend. Leontari looks at the head of his brother in his hand and he says, "Mission successful." And he just starts thunder stomping through the city, walking away from town. Congratulations, you heroes, you Edge of Legenders. You have been successful in slaughtering Lova in your very first boss fight. Cheers.
Cheers.
How sick was that?
Ooh, that was wild.
Oh,
I want to sit in the theater of your mind, PJ, and here we are, enjoying ourselves greatly.
Theater of your-
Just imagine Endgame on repeat. So Lova lays dead. Suddenly, all of the soldiers, Morel, Tobias, Hera, Antigone, Ielenu, and all the survivors, the 4 units, the 40 living people come running back in. They see you, this massive 30-foot headless orc, dead. And there's a moment of pause. And then suddenly, woo! Everyone in Fort Rageddy's celebrating, like, we live! And they are picking all of you up on their shoulders and just like giving a hero's parade through town. And they're just like, Fort Rageddy lives! Adelphon ain't got nothing to worry about. We're here. And then suddenly there's this bit of a quiet. And then they all go, the Acadian. And they look at Morel. And Morel is just sheepish. Hi. Hello. And Fort Rageddy runs up to him and like, you told us what to do. You gave us orders. You told us how to fight. You told us to kill. Morel is just like, sorry, it was war. I used to be a captain. I'm used to giving orders. And they go, but if it weren't for you, we would be dead as meat. And they pick up Morel on their shoulders. 40 soldiers of Fort Rageddy start shouting, the Acadian's all right. The Acadian's a damned hero. And Morel is just hiding his face, waving. But he is just beside himself as everyone in Fort Rageddy is declaring Morel a hero of Fort Rageddy. And he is just not, he's just very awkward, like, hi, I'm a hero, I guess.
Beefy boy, beefy boy, beefy boy.
You do almost see like a tear kind of start welling as in his eye as these people are now welcoming him as a hero. So as Fort Rageddy starts giving their sincerest apologies and extreme laurels to all of you, including Morel, what do you do?
I'm going to check if there's still people that need triage. We did just finish an entire major battle. There's still got to be people that need medical help.
You are indeed right. Give me a medicine check.
Okay. I'm using a hero point.
Might as well burn him.
Much better. Oh, much better. Damn. 17.
You can see in the chaos of the battle, the 10 people that were brought to triage, 2 of them succumb to bleed out and shock. 2 of them are dead. However, there are still 8 that you believe can be saved with either healing that's mundane or healing that is magical. You do see Tobias kind of coming back to town, covered in orc blood, looking exhausted and haggard, and he's just like, Azamat's platinum asshole. We made it out alive. Would you look at that?
Are you hurt?
No, I'm just. He pats himself down. No, I'm just beaten up. I just need a good stew and a good night. That's all I need.
Is there like an Afra version of like a cup of coffee? You can just like smack him on the back and like give him a boost of energy.
There would be a sort of
Caffeine pack.
poultice made out of flowers, a very potent herbal remedy to kind of give him a pickup.
Sweet. I'm gonna, instead of hitting him on the back, I'm gonna just boop him on the head. There's a flower coming out of his head.
You
Good on you, buddy.
you just see Tobias like giving you like this dagger look as he's like, there's a flower on my head. Really? There's a whole flower.
You never looked better.
Oh, I will remember that for next time I have to speak to a beautiful young lady. Flowers in my hair. Lead the way, oh grand hospitalier.
All right. And she's gonna walk with Tobias to triage and she's gonna heal some people.
He will too. He kind of like, you see him take this thing out, pop, drinks it, puts it in, goes, blue fire, and starts putting his hands in people's open wounds. He sees blue fire shoot out, and they pop up going, holy mercy.
Great. Hey, he gets blue fire and I get flowers. I mean, they're both cool, but like, man, they're both really cool, and I'm really happy with the flowers. Afra, don't give me with the flowers, but like, you died in flames. Every time you show up, there's flames. So then, like, he gets blue flames. Like, I like my. I'm not ungrateful. I'm sorry.
You hear this funny little voice go, I mean, have you thought to ask him why his fire is blue?
Could Rufa first collect a sample from Uva?
Give me a perception check. In fact, if you guys would all like to, assuming of course we heal these 8 dying people, everyone can make a perception check to loot Lova's body.
Oh,
First, I got a 23.
All right.
that's a 16.
23 and 16. Does anyone else perception check to looting Lova's body?
Yeah,
Sure.
that is a 14 for me.
All right, 14 from Sam.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so here's what you all get. You know that you can go back and retrieve his siege spear. If you really want Lova's siege spear, you can go ahead and take it. As you are searching the body, you find about the size of a torso. Well, it's about maybe like a medicine ball about this big. You find this unusual glowing orb, but it's pulsing like a heart would. Just... And you see this giant orb, like crystal ball the size of her torso, has some unusual like tubes coming out of it and like a ton of magical aura, and very unusual liquid is being pumped out with every second heartbeat. You find the alchemical supercore inside Lova's body.
Would a occultism roll work here?
No. But I will allow, because the word alchemical is part of it, anyone who is familiar with crafting potions or alchemy, if you guys are an alchemist, I'd give you that one for free. If you guys would do an arcana check, I'll give you negatives for an arcana check.
I mean, I could do like a raw, dirty. I don't have the crafting skill, but I have the high intelligence. I could do a dirty one. Dirty roll on that.
Yeah.
I have. If you want help, I have crafting. Maybe I can aid you.
Yeah. Or do you want to roll and I aid you? So if you're higher.
I have a +7.
Okay. Yeah, you roll and I'll aid you then.
Okay.
Makes more sense.
That is a 17.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
Oh, well, oh.
So, what is it you want to glean from this item specifically?
Michael?
Pretty much kind of how it works and also any weaknesses, like maybe like a busted, like maybe there's like a thin ventricle walls on the beating heart thingy or something like that.
So, what you can tell looking at this is that it does not look like a heart. In fact, it almost looks like someone took this giant, gross, kind of really super thick membrane and used it to make a V12 engine. But it still almost functions like a heart or maybe even a capacitor. It seems to be pumping and moving, absorbing and releasing a lot of energy and a lot of fluid. It's very complex. You're not really sure what the hell.
And this is sorry.
And last but not least, what? There seems to be no. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Lova had like parts of his chest completely destroyed in combat, there's no way you would have gotten to this power core in his chest.
And this is all happening while it's still attached in the body.
Oh no, it's absolutely removed. But like,
okay.
But it's removing it is like removing, almost like removing a plumbing joint. You just squeak, pop, remove.
Is there any degradation or anything that happens to the body when we removed it?
It's hard to tell because he's already dead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's like fast, like decaying or something like that. That's what I mean.
No. It just looks like you pulled the heart out of a dead body or pulled like a part out of a car.
I'm gonna suggest Rufus gonna suggest taking the heart thingy with us until we can run across like a God, I hate pronouncing that name.
Which one?
You guys know who I'm trying to describe.
No.
Morinle Logorunun? Morinle
Legalunu.
Logorunun. I know it's difficult. So you want to bring this to Morinle.
Yeah,
okay.
But also I want to also make arrangements for after the magical parts are harvested for the actual body itself to go to Adalphon Prime to the senator that Rufa has in his pocket.
Sure.
To break down and research.
So let's put it this way. This town has 50 surviving people. How are you going to get a 30-foot body that weighs maybe like 25 tons from Fort Rageddy up and around to the backside of Adalphon Prime?
Actually,
and into
I have an idea how.
Well,
we're going to literally chop off the head, chop off the arm, chop off the legs.
Well, the head was already taken by the Antari. Let's put a giant
the arms and the legs.
Michael, let's put a giant pause button on this operation. There's other people that have to do other things as well.
Okay.
So you have the alchemical supercore, right?
Yeah.
There you find 2 other items in this body. Does anyone have any questions before we move on? I'm seeing some confused looks.
No, I want to find out what else is in there.
Okay, so you find 2 other items. What appears almost kind of looks like a weird leathery glove for the finger. You see this weird leathery thing on the hand of Lova. And you also find somewhere on his person an unusual looking ring.
Can I inspect the ring?
Sure. You can give me an Arcana check on the ring.
Okay. 22. I almost said 24. 22. Yeah.
You find after. Give me a religion check as well, actually.
That should be better. Or not. That's worse. That's a 10.
Okay. So you look at the ring and you immediately recognize the symbol of Shelg, the god of the hunt. You see this kind of polished wooden ring with a gold inlay bears the symbol of Shelg or Shulg. You know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting this feeling that there's some very powerful magic in this ring. You find the Ring of Stubborn Sight. This polished wood ring with gold inlay bears the symbol of an eye with the arrow of Shulg. Like Shulg, who stops at nothing when in pursuit of an idea or prey, so too does the wearer's aim. Wearing this ring grants a +2 to perception checks. Also, during a turn, on your turn, one action, somatic, or kind of a physical gesture you can do with yourself. This ring comes with 2 charges that recharge at the beginning of the day. These charges, when used, will cast True Strike, granting the person to roll twice and high 2 until the end of their turn, usable once. This ring basically grants a +2 in perception checks and 2 uses of True Strike a day.
Ilona's gonna pass this over to Shionibus. I think this is for you.
Yeah, okay. And she's gonna take it.
There you go.
Would it? Clearly, it's not gonna fit on her hand though. It's more of a bracelet.
Oh no! You put it on your finger. Sure enough, it forms a perfect fit with your finger.
Oh yes. Cool.
You can also, if you want to, the weird leather item with a lot of unusual holes can also be looked at with either an Arcana check or a Nature check.
I'll use nature.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
My dice are just loving me today. Thank goodness. That is an 18.
So you have this unusual moment where you pull this weird leather thing off of Lova's hand. You realize it's actually a vest for a 4-legged creature, about the size of a house dog, a house pet. And looking at this, you realize this is a small leather vest for an animal companion. The small leather vest has a very unusual rune in it. Looking at it, you recognize the rune. It's the rune of the honey badger. You have found the animal companion leather armor of the lesser honey badger. This honey badger rune has 3 levels. At the level it currently exists at, this is what it does. Besides giving any animal companion that wears it a +2 to its AC, it also does this. This rune can only be applied to the armor of an animal companion. This rune allows the companion a damage resistance to all non-magic attacks equal to half the con modifier of the companion. This bonus is also applied to willpower saves against fear effects and willpower DCs against intimidation checks to demoralize. This can become a greater honey badger rune at 7 and a major honey badger rune at 15.
She's gonna hand it to wherever Woodward may be. She should release it to the sky for wherever he may be.
Yeah. So somewhere in the universe, Woodward is getting a very brand new spiffy magical vest for Mush.
Yeah.
It's so cute. It's a badger jacket.
He's like a little biker gang.
Vroom vroom glasses.
This also calls into question, why would Lova have it in her? In her.
In his, it's technically them because he doesn't.
Them?
Well,
yeah.
no, I guess he
But the
presents
fact that
masculine.
she suspiciously has a badger vest in them.
You don't know if he has a badger.
You realize the badger vest was being worn like some really weird ring on his finger, like he was trying to keep his finger like protected or something. It was actually conferring a DR1 non-magical weapon bonus to the guy the entire time. Because it's a minimum of 1, I should say. So he was getting 1 DR resistance, non-magical items the whole time, damage the whole time. Okay, so as you go over your new magical items, the people of Fort Rageddy give their love and their thank you by scrapping together whatever they can. They offer you a purse of 500 gold to say thank you for helping them save Fort Rageddy.
Immediately Shionobis would be like, thanks.
Hey,
Ichi's like,
we divide
Oh.
that equally
I-
amongst the group.
I know that. I'm just taking it so they don't have to carry it all the way. Duh.
I'll carry it all the way.
We'll split it.
I'll take
Rufus
your
is gonna kinda
financial
just arch
burden.
an eyebrow and like kind of slowly just kind of takes out, like you kind of see the top part of an abacus.
Tick, 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 tick. Carry the 1, tick, tick. The members of Fort Rageddy come back up and they walk up to Morel, very official like, and they say, last time we saw you, we were a bit unkind. But you know what? We wanted to we wanted to say one thing official for the record. And they walk up and they slap this giant hand on Morel's armor, and there, sticking to his armor, is the chevrons. This symbol, I should say, 2 stripes and a chevron. They say, now on, wherever you go, you're a captain. Anywhere in Adelphon's army, you're an official captain, sir, of Adelphon. I mean, don't look into it none, because quite honestly, those are just our rank stignias. But like, I mean, like if someone argues, you could make a point. And Morel kind of smiles and he goes, oh, thank you. I will make sure that wherever I go, they know that I'm a captain that cares for my Adelphon soldiers. And they go, right, now you best understand that's an officer title. That I'm aware. So, when we return next week for episode 24 of Edge of Legend, we're going to figure out what Rufo wants to do with his body, because I have a feeling he wants to make sure this gets back to Adelphon. But we're also going to figure out what is the next leg of this adventure that these heroes are going to do. We'll see you next time on Edge of Legend. Before we go, we're going to all say goodbye, do one last quick introduction. Michael Powell, let them know who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hey everybody, I am Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which are Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO. And you can also follow me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because, well, I do a lot of stuff, such as my YouTube channel, that's Fantastic Tales of Adventure. And on Thursdays on the Toyzilla Network here on Twitch at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I co-host a little show called Toyzilla Live, where we talk about toy news and nostalgia stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Let me know that place we're going to be, the people are going to be rating when we're done with
I'm
exits.
doing it
Michael
right
Powell. I trust you. Next up, Sidney, tell everyone who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hi, my name is Sidney Rubino. You can find me online everywhere at Sidney Rubino, SIDNEYRUBINO. Wow. On Tuesdays, I release a story where I read fairy tales or folklore. Right now, I'm on a Native American folklore. So if you are interested in listening to stories read by me from a book, you can follow me on my YouTubes. And that is it for me.
Awesome.
But later, come back.
Awesome. Next up, Kylie, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet. I think.
Oh no, she froze.
Yeah, I think Kylie's frozen.
Kylie, no. Oh,
I was-
Kylie.
I thought it was a dramatic pause.
Oh, guys, computer died. Oh no. Okay, well,
You
I'll
can-
try to.
Yeah, you can find her everywhere at Kai's Wonderful Life on
That's right.
Instagram
And
and-
TikTok.
and TikTok,
TikTok.
and Kai Wonderful Life on Twitter. She's
That's
the
really
best and
good.
amazing. and she's also going to be starting another stream
That's right.
the next year. So be sure to watch out for that because it has to do with college, and she's going to be adorable. So
Yes.
Oh, Sydney, you had it on lock. Great
Yeah,
job.
girl, you had it locked down. And having been a part of D&D games that take place in college and in high school, I can tell you, it's good stuff. Tune in, support her, have a great time, laugh along with her. It's going to be a great time. Bring up the rear. Sam, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Sam Sterling, and I played Ichipukton Papakui. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Hey Sam Sterling. And if you want something to do after this stream ends, you can go watch. Last night, I streamed a corporate demon game over on Life Action Roleplay. So the VOD's up about that, and it was a fantastic time. So maybe give that a watch.
Absolutely. I'm seeing all the birthday love in the chat. My name is PJ. When I'm not here for Edge of Legends on Wednesday, normally I'd be here Tuesdays, but life is getting kind of weird. So please tune into Tuesdays on this channel for At the Table. Michael Powell and Ian are going to be discussing all the amazing stuff that you can build, that you can create, that you can discuss with the amazing stuff from Paizo. Also, and I'm putting the link in the chat right now. Next Saturday, December 19th, we are doing our first charity one-shot. We have 3 different guests confirming, friends of the show, Waffle Maple Syrup, those are 2 people, and World of Whittier are going to be joining us through a 6-hour campaign as we see what happens when Larry and Voss, the Ulfgard Company, and Bowen Rionag have to go through the treacherous frozen north. So the charity is happening Saturday, December 19th. It's happening at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. It's to support the Children's Hospital of LA because, gosh, there are hundreds of kids, thousands of kids that need our help. So tune in Saturday if you can. The link should be in the chat. There it is. Give what you can now if you wish to. We're gonna have a great time either way. I'm seeing the birthday love, but before you give me a happy birthday, I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah because Hanukkah starts the day of my birthday. So we're gonna have a great time.
And don't think you're gonna get away with this, but we're gonna sing you happy birthday.
Oh no, but
Is it time?
but Kylie's
she's singing in chat. She's in chat. She's here with us in spirit.
Yeah, she's gonna sing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll take
It's
my medicine
happening.
like a big boy. Let's do this.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Get far away from the mic.
birthday
Birthday
to
you.
Happy birthday, dear
PJ.
PJ.
PJ, our glorious DM and overlord.
Happy birthday to you.
Keep getting worse.
Right.
My cheeks hurt. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you, everyone, all you legends in the chat, everyone who rated and continues to support us. Thank you so much for that. Hype train. I hope you liked the kaiju fight. I would have loved to be bigger, but don't worry. We have so much more Edge of Legends to give you guys, and I can't wait for the stuff we can do for 2021. Michael Powell, before I turn bright red from that amazing song, who are you rating?
Let's raid Paul Dances. They're playing some homebrew D&D.
Ooh, okay. We are going to be rating Paul Dances.
All one word.
Got it.
Cool.
Everyone in the chat, all you legends in the chat, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the Battle of Fort Rageddy. I hope you loved the kaiju battle that you unlocked. That would have, hopefully next time we'll get more kaiju goodness. Thank you guys, you amazing players that I get to call friends, and hope to see you guys next week. And I hope to see you for the one shot on Saturday. And I'll see you legends here. Same Nat time, same Nat channel. Now we're gonna go raid. Raiding in 3, 2, 1. Hit and enter. Unrecognized command. Oh, I spelled raid wrong. Dang it. Okay, we're gonna do it right.
Keep dancing.
And 3, 2, 1. I think we're raiding now.
It takes a little bit to get that going.
It does. It takes some time.
It does. It takes a lot of time.
It's thinking. It's thinking.
It takes so long. Why does it take so long?
And here we go. There we go. We're raiding.